know it's this. It's like a perk in the talk of this shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a belly to sing on my head. Look up the better. Put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Luffy Enters DC Universe. Smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. After both Sanji and Nami drag Luffy back from the water, he was still laughing of his unlucky split while everyone else was looking at him all serious and judging. Boy, that was close, said Luffy all goofy. One day we will let you drown, said Nami with an angry tone. She's right, said Sanji smoking a cigarette. The League was just thinking on how to start a conversation after that scene. Honestly, it wasn't easy. Sorry for interrupt this weird moment but, said Black Canary but Green Arrow cut her. How that hell you can't SWIN? Scream Oliver all baffled. You are a pirate kid. That should the first thing to learn, said Jon Stewart. Oh no, you guys got wrong. I know how to swim, but I can't anymore because I'm a devil fruit user, said Luffy. Devil fruit user, said most of the League confused. What with those faces? Of course, you guys know what a devil fruit user is, said Luffy. No, said most of the League, and that made the pirates all nervous. What? That can't be, said Sanji. They must be on isolated island, said Brook pointing a possibility. Just like Zoo, asked Carrot. Your case is a little different, Carrot, said Chopper with a laugh. The League once again watched the pirates goofing off and didn't know how to approach the next subject. Superman, said Wonder Woman to one of the founding League members. Well, I believe we can discuss this in a better room, said Superman with a joyful laugh. Agreed, said Luffy looking at Superman. Need a hand, Captain Luffy, said Superman handing a hand to help Luffy get back up. Sure, said him grabbing the hero hand. Justice League main room. The Justice League plus the younger team were all crammed into the main area of Mountain Justice where the League discussed their main topics. While the members were seated in their chair, the younger team were standing with some members being alongside their original partner. The Straw Hats all got seats and were now able to talk. Man, this place is cool, said Luffy. Agreed, said Chopper looking around. Don't act like this right now. They are all looking at us, said Nami feeling all nervous. It a bunch of menacing and scaring people with some cool costume all looking at them. Her blood was freezing in fear. Relax, Nami Swan. I am here, everything will be fine, said Sanji with hearts in his eyes. However, his tone changed once he spotted heroines like Wonder Woman, Zatanna, Vixen, etc. These women are such beauties. Each one is a goddess on their own right, and those clothes fought him while his nose was bleeding. Said most of the heroines in disgust. I never seen a hero like this before. I always tough that Duke Dogstorm was the only hero possible, said Carrot looking at the heroes. Excuse, but can I get something to drink? Asked Brook. The League was just as confused as some people reading a long text. What in the world did we got here? Asked Captain Atom. I don't know, said Shazam. I've seen diverse type of mystical creatures, but this people are the first one that make me question reality, said Dr. Fate. Me too, Fate, said Zatanna. Alright, let's get down to business, said Aquaman wanting answers. Batman show up in front of the Straw Hats, scaring everyone but Luffy. Talk now, said Batman. Yes, Batman, Luffy speak, said Nami shaking in pure fear. What? Asked Luffy all confused. We know about you, Monkey D. Luffy, thanks to this, said Batman holding the newspaper. Oh, the newspaper. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Said Luffy looking at his article with a smile. You sure like the attention, Hein kid, said Hal Jordan. Oh, I don't mind that, but come on, my bounty increase, this is something incredible, said Luffy pointing at his newest bounty like it was an honor. Luffy, shut up, said Chopper in pure tears. Alright, we are going to fully open with all of you, because this is something way bigger. After we explain who we are, we want some explanation. Is that okay? Asked Superman. Oh sure, go ahead, said Luffy all normal like it was no big deal. You are not in your world anymore, said Superman, and the pirates started to laugh. Ha ha ha, laughed the group. The League was feeling a bit odd for that. Good one, Mr. Superman, said Brook cleaning a laughing tear in his eye. Oh man, said Flash feeling bad for them. But really, what is the real deal? Asked Sanji. You are not in your world anymore, said Superman one more time, and this time it didn't sound like a joke. That can be right. Nami, tell them, said Luffy to his navigator. Well, said Nami feeling out of place, but then she had a look of horror when she saw the log pose. Nami Swan, what's wrong? Asked Sanji. The log pose is not moving anymore for a while. That is not normal. ever since we passed that fog. Wait, what is that in her pulse? Asked Supergirl. Is that a watch? Asked Wonder Girl. Cat burglar, said Batman. Don't call me that, said Nami all irritated. What is that in your possession? Asked Batman. That is a log pose, said her. A log pose? Questioned Hawk Girl. Yeah, it is a compass that helped navigate her. It points into the direction of an island that it's near, said Nami explaining the compass like watch. Really, that is interesting, said Black Canary. Okay, what is going on? I am getting nervous, said Chopper nervous. Me too. Hold me, Chopper, said Brook hugging Chopper. I'm scared too, said Carrot also hugging the two boys in fear. The league was completely lost with the C's random acts. Okay, let's not panic. We need a concrete confirmation that we are a different world, said Nami wanting some confirmation. Yeah, we need something like a map or, said Luffy, and the Batman show holograms of the various maps of Earth. What is that? Asked Nami with her jaw dropped. Maps of our world, said Batman. Nami, asked Luffy wanting a confirmation from Nami, but the navigator was still in shock for what she saw. That can't be. This wrong. They don't have many our ways or oceans. Where are paradise? The red line? The four blues? Where is the new world? None of this is on my maps, said Nami looking at the hologram maps. Man, she knows a lot about navigation, said Hal Jordan. While she is listed as navigator, said Vixen. I thought that was just a fake position, said Shazam. Nami Swan, are you sure? Asked Sanji. He knew that Nami was the best person to know about maps and navigation. I can't explain this. None of my maps have this stuff on them, said Nami, now paled for this revelation. The league was now feeling bad for them. By the way, we look over all the maps found in your ship, said Aquaman showing a cart full of maps. Hey, carefully with that, said Nami all angry. That was her life work and she didn't want to lost because of some weird group. Dan, who makes all this stuff? Asked Green Arrow. I do, said Nami all angry. That impressed everyone. You do all that by yourself, said Black Canary in surprise. Well, I'm a navigator. That's my job, said Nami. Nami, are they serious? Are we in another world? What we do? Should we run? Should we eat? I don't know what do, said Luffy all frenetic and crazy. Be quiet, dumbass, said Nami hitting Luffy. Okay, he lost cool every second. Fought most of the heroes. A few hours ago Luffy was wrecking their place and now he is being beaten by his own subordinates. Luffy, calm down, we will explain the rest of you, said Superman trying to calm the situation. The pirate group was now starting to be paranoid. Okay, but who are you people in general? Because you are all pretty cool, asked Luffy. The Justice League now smile and now let one of their greatest members do the introductions. We are a part of team of superheroes that protect the Earth and most other places of the galaxy. We are the Justice League of America, said Superman, reviling holograms of the thousands of heroes that habit this Earth. Many that are members of the Justice League or just allies. So cool, said Luffy, Chopper and Carrot. What? Said Nami, no trembling in fear, and Sanji finished for her. Is going on, said Sanji sweating. Why, I feel so weak next to them, said Brook looking at the heroes looking ashamed. Oh, you guys are protectors of the planets. That's so cool. Tell me more, said Luffy, getting the idea of the league position pretty fast actually. Yeah, keep going, said Carrot all excited. They act like kids, thought Superman with a smile. We are all superheroes. We the Justice League act as the main team of defense of justice, while the younger team, said Wonder Woman pointing at the younger team at the other side of the room. Which is us, said Nightwing. Nice to meet you guys, said Chopper waving at the younger heroes. You too ... said Red Robin trying to remember the name of that creature. Chopper, said the reindeer introduction himself. Right, Chopper, said Tim with a smile, is training to be the next generation of heroes for the years to come. The main founders of this organization were me, Superman, last son of Krypton, Man of Steel, defender of Metropolis, said Superman explaining his position and powers. That was enough to impress Luffy, Chopper and Carrot, while terrifying Nami, Brook and Sanji. That could possibly be the most powerful person that they ever meet. Superman is so cool, said Luffy. Yeah, said Chopper and Carrot. That is Wonder Woman. An Amazon, champion of the goods, the defiant spirit of truth, and one of the most powerful beings in the universe, said Superman introducing the Amazon. Is a pleasure meet a powerful pirate as yourself, monkey. You too, Wendy, said Luffy being so calm and shaking Wonder Woman's hand. And a beauty that this man has never seen before, said Sanj looking at Wonder Woman. What? Said Wonder Woman confused to this man charms. This guy is loser, said Hawkman, and many of the male heroes agreed with him. Maybe Diana have pity on him, said Black Canary. Is alright, my dear man. We will make sure that you and your friends are safe in our hands, said Wonder Woman petting Sanji in the head. I am dead and go to heaven, said Sanji all red, but before he could continue Nami hit him. Stop with that. You are humiliating us more than Luffy, and that is saying something, said Nami all pissed. Ouch, said some of the male heroes. I like this girl, said Black Canary, Vixen, Hawkgirl and most of the young heroines of the team. This is Hal Jordan, the superhero known as Green Lantern. He is part of an intergalactic team called the Green Lantern Corps. Most of his power come from his will. With his ring he can make anything of his will. Check it out, said Hal, making some objects such as a boat, some animals and other stuff. Cool, do more stuff, like meat, said Luffy. Later, Rubber Kid, said Hal with a smile. Aquaman, king of the seas. He is able to command sea life and rule over the 7 seas, said Superman, introducing Aquaman, who only grunt to the pirates. That's cool, but I am the one who is gonna be the one with most free on the seas, said Luffy, adjusting his hat. We'll see, kid, said Aquaman. Martian Manhunter. He is an extraterrestrial from the planet Mars. He is super strong, has a powerful telepathic power, and is loyal to the case of peace. Is a pleasure met you all in a more simple way, said Martian Manhunter. Although he was looking normal, but he was still nervous around Luffy. He still could sense the immense amount of will spirit coming from him. Uncle John. Are you? Said Miss Martian, looking at her uncle who was shaking. I'm fine, Megan, said Martian Manhunter. Flash, the fastest man alive. He is able to run across the entire world with no problem, thanks to his access to the Speed Force. Nice to meet actual pirates, said the Flash, actually interest in the pirates. You seem really cool, lighting guy. So how fast are? Asked Luffy, and in a blink of an eye Flash stole Luffy hat. Like this, said Flash, wearing his hat. Wow, he is fast, said Sanji, impressed by the display of power. Faster man alive, said Flash, returning Luffy hat. This was so cool. Do more stuff like this, said Luffy with stars in his eyes. Later, kid, said Flash, laughing. Luffy was actually a funny guy. And finally, Batman. World's greatest detective, the man with 1,000 plans. Sure, he doesn't have any power, but the League will be lost without him, said Superman, introducing the Dark Knight, who was just sitting in his chair and with a scary face. However, Luffy didn't spot that. He is cool. Hey, are you a giant bat or something? Asked Luffy, all interested in the dark, mysterious hero. The Justice League just had a few laughs in their faces. Luffy really didn't get the scary vibe that Batman was posing, but his crew was. Luffy stopped bothering him. He seemed like the most scary person here, said Nami. Can I use your cape? Asked Luffy, looking at the long dark cape of Batman. No, said Batman. Kid sure has no fear, talking face to face with Batman, said Green Arrow. From what happened just today, I believe he is not human, said Red Tornado. We also have all these spectacular heroes that later joined us, but we are all the founding members, said Superman, showing images of many other heroes that are members of the League. And these young ones are the future generation of heroes, all trained by many of us as first sidekick and later becoming their own persona of heroism, said Wonder Woman, showing off the younger team. We already met. I have to admit you fight really good by someone that goes head first into action, said Nightwing as the voice of the whole group. That's okay. You are also a pretty cool fighter. I wanna meet you guys later. All of you seem so cool, said Luffy with a smile. He is kind nice, said Beast Boy. Alright, we explain ourselves, said Hal Jordan. Now it's your turn, said Batman straight. Luffy didn't find that a threat and more is a honest question. Well, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the Straw Hat Pirate, and these, said Luffy, but Captain Atom cuts him. We know each one of you crew members, except for her, said Captain Atom, pointing to Carrot. Me, said Carrot, confused. Oh, Carrot is not one my Nekama, said Luffy. You use the word Nekama instead of crewmate, asked Green Arrow, that understood a little bit of Japanese and knew what the word Nekama meant. Yeah, they are my friends and I'm not gonna treat them bad just because I'm the captain. I valorized everyone aboard, said Luffy, being totally honest. That's why he was letting Nami and Sanji beat him, because he literally don't think of himself too high on the crew. He is so humble, said Wonder Woman with a smile. She was part of our team to rescue Sanji from his wedding, said Luffy, explaining Carrot's position on his team. That last part confused some people. Were you forced into married someone? Asked Jon Stewart, confused. Kind of. Is a long story, we will explain later, said Sanji, gritting. Okay, said the African American Green Lantern. You are acting way different from the beginning. Why the sudden change? Asked Batman, interrogating Luffy. I thought you guys were trying to arrest us or trying to kill us, said Luffy. We do not kill, said Aquaman. Some of us have a different version of that, said Batman, remembering some heroes who actually crossed the line of taking a life. But you are a criminal and a very wanted one in your world, said Red Tornado, pointing at the earlier facts. Yeah, I know I'm a pirate. That's the whole point. Who wants to be a pirate and have no bounty? That is kind sad. said Luffy. Kid might have a point, said Green Arrow, understanding the view of Luffy. Are you sure, Green Arrow? Asked Superman. If you are an outlaw of his type, you want to create as much confusion as possible. Many people of high authority are not gonna like you, but that's whole point of the game, said Green Arrow, remembering Robin Hood methods to gain fame with the law. Okay, now going back to a topic. You mentioned something devil fruit. What is a devil fruit? Asked Hawk Girl. Well, since this is not our world, we might as well explain. Chopper, you are the doctor, so you should give the details, said Luffy, giving the way for the Dr. Reindeer. You are doctor? Asked Shazam. Yeah, said Chopper, all proud. But the newspaper said you are a pet, said Zatanna. That alone really left Chopper mad. I'm not a pet. I am the doctor of the crew, Dammit. Scream him with a temper totter. So why do you have a bounty of only 100? Asked Dr. Fate. They never seen me fight, said Chopper, feeling all down. Poor guy, fought most of the heroes. Cheer up, Chopper, one day you are going to get there, said Luffy, patting Chopper at his head. Thanks, Luffy, said Chopper, feeling a little better. Going back to the main discussion. What are devil fruits? Asked Batman. Devil fruits are mystical fruits that are all over our world. When consumed, it can grant the user a special ability. We have in total of 4 devil fruit user in the crew. Luffy, said Chopper. I ate the Gamu Gamu no Mai, so I became a rubber man, said Luffy, stretching his cheeks. Your power is just rubber? Asked Hawkman, all confused and baffled. Yeah, what you guys thought it was? Asked Luffy. I don't know. You were all over the place, said the Flash. That's explain why his head was still attached when I punched him, said Supergirl, remembering the punch that she gave to Luffy. But this doesn't play your super strength, said Superman, a bit confused. Well, I just trained really hard to get this power, said Luffy, just showing off his muscles. Maybe in his world superhuman feats are possible, said Wonder Woman, giving the most obvious explanation. That's a possibility, said Superman, agreeing. Yeah, and I have the human fruit, said Chopper. Human fruit? Questioned Vixen. You see, I was a simple reindeer when one day I ate this devil fruit that was on a tree. This fruit grown on trees? Asked Dr. Fate, interested in Thesse's fruits. You see, when the previous user die, the fruit is reincarnate to the nearest fruit or tree available, where it waits to be eaten again. There only one type of power for fruit. But there is one thing that all devil fruit have in common. And what is it? Asked Black Canary. It tastes terrible, said Luffy, Chopper, and Brook with a yuck sound. The League and the Younger had a sweat in their heads. Yeah, it tastes like rotten fruit, said Luffy, showing off his tongue. Thanks for the information, Luffy, said Superman with a confused laugh. What's more you have? Like, can you eat a bunch of devil fruits to gain all sort of powers? Asked Green Arrow, now interested in those powerful fruits. Oh no, you must not eat more than 1 devil fruit, said Brook. Why not? Asked Batman. You see, if you eat 2 devil fruit, said Chopper, your body explodes, said Luffy, finishing his explanation. That actually got the League surprised. Ouch, said Shazam. Also, you can't swim anymore, hence why Luffy was struggling in the water, said Chopper. Explain why Luffy was not able to swim back at the port. Yeah, my bad, said Luffy with a sorry face. So is either amazing power or losing the ability to swim, said Wonder Woman, now understanding the dilemma of consuming the devil fruits. Yes, I know, but there is a bunch of pirates that are users. Tell me, if you guys had the opportunity, you would eat? Asked Luffy. The League now was generously intrigued. Well, said Green Arrow, if he could, he would like to have those crazy powers, but swim is an ability that he wouldn't like to lose. That got the League good. Of course, most of them had already incredible strength and power. But the way that the pirates speak is almost like the sea's fruits gives you unlimited power. While they got their fair share of people who want unlimited power and usually didn't end good for them. Chopper saw that they were busy with this question, so he decided to move on to Brook. Well, Brook here is our only other member with a devil fruit, said Chopper. Yes, I ate the revive fruit. It allow me to have an extra life, yo ho ho ho. What did you say, an extra life? Asked Zatanna in shock alongside many heroes. Man, this fruit could really be helpful for us, with so many who had died before, said Superman. Agreed, said Batman. But the side effect is that you become a skeleton, asked Rocket. Oh no, my dear, the thing is when I die, my soul returned to the world, but my body was not there. My old ship sailed away and it took me a year to found, and when I finally did, I was nothing more than pure bones. And an afro, said John Stewart. Oh yes, at least my most beautiful part was intact. It make me cry in tears, even though I don't have eyes. Yo ho ho ho. This guy is funny, said Beast Boy. Maybe you can join him. All you need to be pure bones, said Raven, all cold. Don't we have a guy who is a pure skeleton? Asked Wonder Girl. Yes, that asshole director Bones, said Nightwing. I wonder what he is up to, asked Superboy. And you there? Asked Red Tornado, pointing at the Mink Girl. Yes, said Carrot. Are you a devil fruit user too? The bunny fruit? Asked Black Canary. No, I was born this way, sir, said Carrot. She didn't eat a devil fruit like Peckham's, all she had was Pedro training. What? Said many heroes confused. Well, you see, Carrot here is part of race called Minks. They are people with animal feature. There is a whole tribe of different animals, peoples of all kind genres and species, said Nami. That's kind interesting to learn, said Nightwing, interested in Theseus people culture. A place of all kind animal people, that's my place, said Beast Boy, interest in this mink place. Sure dude, said Blue Beetle. Yeah, we all live in Zunisha, the most perfect place, said Carrot, feeling homesick. Oh, you are talking about the elephant, said Luffy. What elephant? Asked John Stewart. Okay, you all. This next one you are not going to believe, said Sanji, trying to go explain Zoo. Sir, we are the Justice League. We dealt with many kinds of invasion from other planets to titans from other dimensions. What possible could be so absurd to us, said Captain Atom. Alright, Zunisha is a giant elephant that walks on the ocean. And on top of that is the whole mink tribe that's been there for centuries, said Luffy, remembering the giant elephant that him and his team encounter. The Justice League more confused than never, except for Batman, who had the same expression. Did you say giant elephant that walks in the ocean? Asked Hal Jordan, trying to comprehend that explanation. He is right, sir. Zunisha is the name of our saint elephant that carry of us, said Carrot. Did we go into the rabbit hole? Asked Zatanna. No, sweetie, we are still in our world, said Vixen. Okay, so what about this zoo? What can you, said Carrot? Asked Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder-chan, the tribe is protected by two terms of groups. By day is Duke Dogstorm and his musketeer, with I am a part of, and by night is Master Cat Viper and the Guardians of the Forests, said Carrot, explaining how her society in zoo works. She even picked a pen and paper and drew Master Cat Viper and Duke Dogstorm. Of course, with her art style, it was kind difficult to understand. I see, said Wonder Woman, trying to understand. Basically, her tribe is run by two people. One is a giant dog and the other a giant cat, explained Sanji. Isn't this kind bad? Don't they fight? Asked Black Canary. With them is very confusing. One minute they are fighting, the other they are cheering like if they were best friends. At this point you just accepted, said Chopper, remembering those two bickering like children. Alright, said Black Canary. So, you are a musketeer, said Batman. He understood Carrot explanation, so he puts the pieces together. Yeah, Gara, said most of the heroes confused. Is a common way that mink tends to speak, said Nami. Interesting, said Martian Manhunter. You know how to hold a sword? Because Jackson over there told me that you were able to electrocute his team, said Aquaman, confused on how the bunny girl managed to handle one of his best warriors. Yeah, that still didn't make sense to us, said Jackson and the younger team. We are okay, if you wonder, said Dolphin to the mink girl, just for concern. Oh great, said Carrot with a smile. She is so cute, thought most of the teens. So what was that electricity thing? Questioned Aquamna. That was my Electro, said Carrot, puzzling the heroes. Electro, like this? Asked Static, showing off some of his power. Oh, how can you do that? Answer me or you will suffer in the name of the Duke of Zoo, asked Carrot, jumping up and down full of questions for the young electric hero. Relax, this is just my power. I go by Static Shock. What about you? How can you do this? Said Static, showing off more of his power. Oh, the fur that us mink has are very powerful. It granther us the ability to conduit electricity. Most of us are master with that, said Carrot, explaining her power. And when there is a full moon is worst, said Nami, remembering on how scary and powerful Carrot was in the full moon. What do you mean? Asked Black Lightning. We will tell later, said her. Well, that answers our question about your race, Carrot. But now we have more questions like, said Superman, talking until Martian Manhunter cut him off. About your powers, yes. But what about? Explained Martian Manhunter until Batman finally ends the question. Are devil fruit in classification? Asked Batman. Oh yes, there is Paramecia, which is Luffy, Brook and another crew member of us Robin type. It allow the user to have a power that affect their enforcement and can perform all kind things, explained Chopper, and the League was just listening and the computer taking notes. We see. And there is some sort drawn back, asked Red Tornado. Well, once you train a lot you get used to the attacks, said Luffy. Yes, he had his fruit for a long time, but he knew he couldn't stretch forever. I see, is almost how we deal with the metahumans, said Dr. Fate. Precisely, said Captain Atom. There is Zoan type, which that's allow the user to transform to creature, either an animal, a fish and so forward, explained Chopper. Once again you came ahead, Gar, said Starfire to the Green Boy. Beast Boy had the advantage of becoming every type of animal, and he didn't need a devil fruit of some sort. What can I say, Star? I know my main game, said Beast Boy, feeling awesome. I have to say you were pretty good there in the fight, green guy, said Luffy. Thanks, Luffy. By the way, the name is Beast Boy, said Beast Boy. Nice to meet you, said Luffy with a smile. Boys, can you save the talk for later, said Black Canary. We have most important things to discuss, said Captain Adam. More, this is boring, said Luffy looking bored. How is this guy a captain? Fought most of the league. And finally, there is Loja. It is the most powerful type. It allows the user to become the element that the fruit has. It is also really useful against long attack, since your body becomes the element. Shots and stabs are pretty much useless against. Now the league was intrigued. A power that gives you the ability to become an element. With the right amount of imagination and training, the user could become unstoppable. Now that the issue with the fruits was resolved, there was still one thing left. Okay, but what about that strange wave of energy that I felt? The one that knocked out many members of the league. I never seen a feature like this, Luffy, said Martian Manhunter, all curious and startled. That wave of energy was something that he never experienced before, even in Mars. Oh, that was Haki, said Luffy. Haki, asked most of the league. Is that a devil furet thing? Asked Shazam. No, but I guess is okay to him to explain this one, since he is the most trained, said Nami. She really haven't increased her Haki, so it was better for the captain to explain. Luffy, what is Haki? Asked Superman. Well, I'm not good with explanations, said Luffy fixing his hat. No kidding. Fought most of the heroes. But according to my teacher Rayleigh... Haki is a kind of force that is present in every living being, said Luffy, trying to find the best words to explain this power. You mean every person could access to this? Asked Black Canary, now interested in this subject. Oh yeah, even an animal can do it, but it's super hard. It took me almost 2 years to master the 3 types, said Luffy. Types? Asked Vixen. Once again, Luffy is more appropriate to talk about this subject, said Sanji. Well, there is observation Haki, which can make me sense almost everything around me and have some abilities in preparation. Its kinds make me all aware of the dangers around me. That's how I was able to dodge most of your attacks and also catch those arrow, said Luffy, remembering and catching Green Arrow tricks. You mean anyone can learn this sort of trick, kid? Said Green Arrow, now interested. If you learn this Haki thing, it could increase his shots. Yeah, me, Sanji, Brook, Zoro and Usopp have this level of Haki. Is really cool the way I can catch all those bullets with no problems, said Luffy. A sense of approximation, said Red Tornado. With the proper training, said Wonder Woman, now fully interested in this concept of Haki. It could be a great way of fighting crime. Only using your senses and make every right counterattack, said Zatanna, also interested in learning Haki. Every movement, thought Batman. In a blink of an eye, he prepare a batarang and throw into Luffy direction. The batarang was sharp and it's almost difficult to see. Batman, said Superman in horror. Luffy, carefully, said Nami, afraid of whatever Batman had thrown. Luffy, however, just catch the batarang with no problem, even before Superman or the Flash could even react. He catch so easily, thought Batman, studying Luffy Haki. Wow, this is so cool. The shape, I liked it. Looks like a bat and is so sharp, said Luffy, observing the batarang with starts in his eyes, while everyone was still tense for Batman's sudden attack. Luffy, don't treat this like a toy, asked Nami, all nervous. Can I keep this? Asked Luffy. Sure, said Batman, all cold. But Luffy didn't mind. Yeah, check out Chopper, said Luffy, showing off the batarang. So cool, said Chopper, looking at the batarang. He is so childish, thought Wonder Woman with a smile. Luffy was strong, but he had the mind of a young kid. Alright, you can continue to explain, said Batman. Where was I? Asked Luffy, putting the batarang in his pocket. You talked about observation, you should explain armament, said Sanji. His arm went all black, said Hawkman, surprised. What in the world? Asked Flash, and Luffy used his new-looking arm to rip apart a part of the table of the Justice League. It looked like he break solid steel like it was nothing. What is that? Asked Hawkgirl, shocked. This is Haki, pretty much all gathered up and forming some kind protection. It is really good to fight devil fruit users. Now they can't talk on how cool they are, said Luffy, while his arm returned to normal. That's not all. We also learned that you can put Haki in your gear, said Sanji. What? Asked Green Arrow, interested. Can you explain that? Asked Black Canary. Oh yeah, I don't know a whole about this, but Zoro might. I saw him gather Haki in his swords to do all kind cool attacks, said Luffy, remembering Zoro embracing his swords with armament Haki. You are saying that you can put Haki in your fighting tools? Asked Nightwing, all interest. That would be a really good thing to learn and mastered. I guess so, but I prefer fighting hand-to-hand combats, said Luffy, clutching his fists. More like jump in front of danger, said Nami, still angry at the captain actions during the tea party. Yeah, Luffy, stop doing that, said Chopper, angry. No, said Luffy, picking his nose and with not a care in the word. Alright, he is like a child, thought almost every one of the heroes. That still doesn't explain the great energy that I receive. Could please explain this one, said Martian Manhunter, super confused. Oh, that's Conqueror's Haki, said Luffy. Conquerors, questioned June, is a kind rare part of Haki. It allow me to release a huge amount of willpower that can make those who have not enough energy to stand, said Luffy, explaining the most powerful Haki. That explanation left many of members of the Justice League very nervous and scared. If that was something that anyone could reach, it's good to keep it a secret. So let's explain how he was able to break the ring's barrier, said Hal. Only willpower could shatter the green barrier, because he was realizing willpower and pure energy, said John Stewart. And those who couldn't stand earlier, said Black Lighting, remembering people are not strong enough, said Vixen. The younger team was looking at the main team. They were all really shaken by that and looked like they didn't have the answers. Man, I never seen the League all nervous, said Superboy. He even saw Superman scared. Well, this Haki thing must be really powerful, said Wonder Girl. Raven, can you sense something on him? Asked Starfire. Yes, he has extremely powerful energy. It is not the same way as me, but it is a very scary one, said Raven, sensing Luffy aura. If the goth girl looked terrified, said Blue Beetle. It means he is dangerous, said Robin. Can you obtain this Conquerors by training? Asked Batman, wanting to know everything about Haki. Kind and no, answered Luffy. What? Said Batman, now pissed. Gives us a straight answer, Luffy, said Green Arrow. Calm down, Arrow, said Hal Jordan. Luffy saw a bunch of impatient faces looking at him. The crew also saw that and found it terrifying. Nami decided to still keep peace between them and the League, so she decided to explain the rest. Waddy, don't be angry. The thing is, Conquerors is pretty rare. Only a few select people in our world is able to access. Luffy need to get brutal training with a master of Haki to be fully control. Of us, Luffy is the only one that can use this power, said her, remembering what Luffy had described about Rayleigh teaching. If you were able to awake, that means you are strong, said Hawkman. You bet I am. I love a good brawl, said Luffy, clutching his knuckles. Really? So what is your main goal to become stronger? Asked Captain Adam. I am in my quest to become king of the pirates, said Luffy, and some of the League members laugh at him. What is so funny? Asked Luffy. You said that so straight like it's a big deal, said Black Canary, holding her laugh. But it is, said Luffy. In your world there is more pirates, asked Aquaman. There is like millions of pirates running around and some of them are pretty strong, said Sanji. So how does someone accomplish this tittle? Asked Wonder Woman. Easy. Finding the One Piece, said Luffy. One Piece? Asked Superman. What is that? Asked Wonder Woman. A treasure left by the original kinf of the pirates, Gold Roger. He said who find is theirs, said Luffy, explaining what the kind of the pirates said. Sounds reasonable, said John Stewart. How long people hadn't been trying to find this treasure? Asked the Flash. 22 years, said Luffy. That's a long time, said Green Arrow. Hey, is not a easy thing. The treasure is located all the way in the New World. We sailed all the way from the East Blue to get there, said Luffy, remembering starting from the Goa Kingdom to the New World. How, Luffy, said Chopper, seeing the League members a bit confused. They don't know the geography of our world, said Nami. What do you mean? Asked Luffy, poking at Nami. They don't understood, you dumbass, said Nami, punching Luffy again. Ouch, said Luffy in pain. He kept losing his cool. Fought most of the younger team in the Justice League. Well, Luffy, is possible you can tell a little bit about your journey and your quest to find the One Piece? Asked Superman. Honestly, he was interested in this story about in a world full of pirates. What was like the king of the pirates' treasure? Really? Okay, so I heard that the One Piece is hidden in an island of the New World, said Luffy. What is this New World? Asked Zatanna. In our world there is something called the Grand Line. It's kind the straight pattern where you travel. It is divided thanks to the red line, and once you pass that you have to go through Fisherman Island, said Nami, explaining their geography. What is Fisherman Island? Asked Aquaman, intrigued by that name. Where the fisherman and mermaid live, said Luffy. That seemed very similar to Atlantis. Tell me, do this island have a king? Asked Aquaman. Yeah, his name is Neptune, said Luffy, remembering the big king. Neptune is in the god of the ocean, said Wonder Woman. Well, is your god also a really white-haired dude who rides on a whale? Asked Brook. That explanation leave the Justice League with so many confuses thoughts. Well, a bit or less, said Aquaman, feeling weird out. Oh, so this place seemed kind similar to ours, said Chopper with a smile. No, Chopper is still really different, said Sanji. Okay, continue. Once you passed Fisherman Island, what happened? Asked Batman. Well, we were just sailing around and then we got a message signal. Someone was being attacked by a samurai, said Luffy, remembering receiving the contact. A samurai, said most of the League, surprised. Well, we just went through to samurai, said Wonder Girl. and it thought I heard everything in this line of business, said Red Robin. So, what the deal with the samurai? Asked Black Canary. Oh, it is really big Dell. You see, where we come from, the samurai are incredible strong warrior from the land of Wano, said Luffy. Wano, said Superman. That's the place that he was talking about, said Raven. What is this Wano? Asked Wonder Woman. Possibly the biggest challenge we have ever faced so far, said Nami. Luffy, if you could please, can you continue to explain the rest of your story? Asked Superman. Sure, Superman. Let's see, said Luffy, trying to remember everything. Well, once we heard this call, we had to help. Also, I really wanted to meet a samurai that is just so cool to ignore, said Luffy. Luffy is right, said Chopper, who was also excited to meet a samurai. They are like little kids. Thought most of the females heroes. Is kind adorable. Thought Black Canary. Well, considered he has the strength to challenge us, this is kind silly, said Hawk Girl. We follow the signal and that got us into the island of Punk Hazard, said Luffy. What is this place? Asked Martian Manhunter. It was an empty island that got famous recently in our world because of a fight of two admirals, said Nami, remembering Jinbei's speech about the fight between the two Navy men. What was the big deal about it? Asked Black Lightning. They were both Loja users, said Sanji, and that got the attention of the League. Yeah, one was ice and his name is Aokchi, and the other was lava which is named Akenu, said Nami. Chris, that sound like a disaster, said Vixen. Just imagining of the disaster that those fruits could do. We heard they fought for many days and Akenu sound victorious, said Nami. That name alone made Luffy grit his teeth. Luffy, calm down, said Chopper, seeing Luffy angry. The islands suffer a really bad weather condition. Half is frozen like the Arctic and the other is hot than a desert, said Sanji, remembering that weird division. That's messed up, said Shazam. Once we got inside, we meet some new people that become some our greatest friends, said Luffy, now more calm. Who? Asked Batman. Kindman, Momo and Traffy. What? Quested most of the League. Two of them are from Wano. The other is pirate that Luffy made an alliance, said Chopper. Is the pirate named Trafalgar Law, the surgeon of death with a bounty of 500 million, said Batman, remembering another article on the newspaper talking about Luffy and the Heart Pirates captain. Yeah, that's Traffy. He and I are pirate friends, said Luffy with a smile. That's not how alliance work, said Green Arrow with a sweat in his head. Man, he keeps me worrying every second, said Black Canary. It would be really good to see what is going on in his head, said Hal Jordan. That phrase actually gave an idea to Martian Manhunter. Perhaps we could, said Martian Manhunter. Uncle June, said Miss Martian, a little confused. Is okay, Megan, said him to her. Martin Manhunter, is there something that you would like to share? Asked Superman. Yes, for you see, Martian telepathy is one of the most advanced in the universe, so much so that we can project the memories of someone into dozens of people's head, said him. And with my help I can assist in that, said Miss Martian, also stepping forward to help. Megan, said Superboy, concern. Is okay, Connor. This only it will result in some extreme headaches, said her with a smile. Monkey D. Luffy, will you allow to have me and Megan search in your memories for the recent events that you talk about so we can understand you and your companions better? I promise with my life that this is painless and not serious. I am not fond of hurting others, said Martian Manhunter, walking towards Luffy and his crew and offering his hand. I also can conjure some spell to help with the memories, said Dr. Fate. They are going to mess around with Luffy head, said Chopper, understanding their plan. Is this really possible? Heroes are scary, said Carrot, trying to hide under the table. Calm down, Carrot, said Brook. Well, Luffy is a simple-minded guy. There is no horrible act that he committed. I just hope they don't find anything embarrassing about us, said Nami, kind understanding that plan. Luffy has done bad things, but hey, those were necessary. You guys are going to enter my head, asked Luffy. Technically yes, but you, said Martian Manhunter. However, before he could finish, Luffy cuts him off. Whoa, that sound cool. Do it, said Luffy, wanting to see his memories. He really don't understand the situation, thought Captain Adam, seeing how dumb that kid was. Wait, if you guys want to know the full story, shouldn't you also check my crew memories, said Luffy, pointing at his friends. That's a good point. Martian Manhunter, Miss Martian, said Batman. Right, said the two green skin aliens. What? Said the whole group, scared. Wait a minute, what are you? Asked Nami. However, Martian Manhunter explained the situation for her. We promise that this is harmless. We wouldn't dream to harm people, said him. Nami looked at the big muscular green man and took a deep breath. Okay, we believe in you, said her. If Nami Swan says so, I also go aboard with that, said Sanji. The rest of the group also agreed. Okay, here it goes, said Martian Manhunter, touching the forehead of Luffy while Miss Martian worked on her telepathy and Dr. Fate prepares a spell. Luffy, are okay? Asked Chopper. Yes, Chopper, I don't feel, said Luffy, and soon enough all these memories were showed. And the memories, thousands of memories were being shown. East Blue, Alabasta, Skypia, in his lobbies, Thriller Bark, Sabati, Impel Down, Marineford, Fishman Island, until finally it arrived into the memories of Punk Hazard. The heroes saw like a brief scene of Luffy adventures and they had many questions involving so much of the stuff they saw. Corruption, the evil genius, malevolous pirates, the death of the pirate called Ace. They would leave their question for later since it was a different world and they only knew most information thanks to the Straw Hats. They saw a very cold place, where the winter has seen to be strong and the worst. This is Punk Hazard, asked Superman, seeing the snowy place. Yes, I went with Robin, Usopp, and Zoro. They took the straw to see who go with me, said Luffy, remembering that scene, so it also played. Zoro and Robin looking forward while Usopp looks miserable. Me and the rest of the crew were capture and throw in cells of a facility owned by the guy who lives there for a time. Caesar Clown, said Sanji. Who is this guy? Asked Hawkman. A piece of shit, said Nami, all angry remembering that asshole. Wow, language, said Captain Atom. I don't care. This is our memories, you see what a scumbag that trash is, said Nami, all irritated. Man, he really pissed her off, said Shazam, a bit afraid of Nami. So, while Luffy and his group are busy at dealing with the cold, we meet Kindman, said Chopper, seeing in the memories. The League saw the Straw Hats in some kind prison and suddenly they came across a head. Said Green Arrow, all confused. Why, he is just a head, asked Hawk Girl. Oh, he told us that he ran into Traffy so he got cut up, said Luffy with a laugh. What is this Trafalgar Law power? Asked Batman. Is amazing. He barely explained to us, but he can pretty much do an entire operation without the use of medical equipment, said Chopper with stars in his eyes. Every time he asked Trafalgar Law to demonstrate his power, he just goes away, much to Chopper's sadness. What? Said most of the hero in surprise. Yeah, I saw Traffy cut people up and they never bleed. He does this room thing and then people are being chopped off, said Luffy, remembering the times he fought alongside Law. Like in the auction house where Law cuts a bunch of Marines in half. This is insanely dangerous, said Dr. Fate. We will discuss this later, said Superman to the League. Alright, what next? Asked the Flash. So Kindman was searching for his son Momosuke. Thanks to Frankie he managed to escape and then we meet them, said Nami, remembering what happened next. The next thing to appear was a room full of giant kids. Kids? Asked Wonder Woman. Wow, giants kids, said Beast Boy. The League then saw Nami converting her face in rage. What's wrong, Nami? Asked Black Canary. I still haven't forgiven that scumbag for that, said Nami. Okay, what did this Caesar Cloud did? Asked Black Lightning. Images of Caesar and the candy were shown in the memories. That asshole was feeding kids with something called NHC-10, said Chopper, remembering the candy and the results that he found. What is that? Asked Superman, seeing what looked like a regular candy. Is a stimulant drug very addictive if the user stop receiving for a while? Well, said Nami, remembering seeing those kids being driven mad for the absence of the drug of Caesar. Images of the kids suffering, crying, spitting blood and going on rampages were showed thanks to Nami memories. The heroes were heartbroken by that. Oh good, said Black Lightning. Those poor kids, said Zatanna. So, this guy's pretty much drug a bunch of giants kids. Why? Asked Green Arrow, pissed at this Caesar clown. He was planning and to turn into giants. He gave this drug like it was candy so they stay more for his experiments, said Chopper. They all saw images of Caesar laughing and being a total jackass to the kids, just for his own amusing. Okay, you were right. He is a piece of shit, said Wonder Girl. Cassie, said Halo, shocked that her friend would use such bad words. Can we see him more closely? Asked Batman, now wanting more answers. Images of Caesar appeared. In his true form, voice, and style. Chiroro, said Caesar, laugh. What in the world? Asked Shazam, seeing the weird man, reindeer, gas thing floating around. Why he looks like that? Asked Red Tornado. He ate a devil fruit that makes him control chemical gas, said Luffy. That alone made the League flinch, nervous. Able to control chemical gas. In the wrong hands, that could lead to the death of many. Okay, now, this is dangerous, said Vixen, now shocked. When we learned about his plan, we decided to protect the kids and bring them to their parents. That was the right thing to do, said Nami with a smile, totally proudly of her action. That surprised the League. They saw that they weren't bad pirates, but they were actually genially good people. What? Asked Luffy, weirded out by the League's sudden face. Nothing, we were, said Superman, speaking while Wonder Woman finishes for him. just taken back by your good heart, said her with a smile. Why, that's what anyone would have done, said Luffy all sincere. That really surprised the League. Alright, continuing. After that our parties got separated again. Luffy found Momo and we found the rest of the crew plus Kindman body, said Sanji. Oh, there's Kin, said Luffy pointing out the tall samurai from Wano. Talk about legit samurai, said Green Arrow. What about that little dragon? Asked Shazam seeing a little pink dragon. Oh, that's Momo, said Luffy. Let me guess Devil Fruit, said Hawkman with his arms crossed. Yep. At first, he was annoying and trying to bite me but then we make our difference. We both wanted to kick Caesar ass, said Luffy. A solution that we can all agree, said Aquaman in his rare moment of humor. While this was going, me, Mosshead, Brook and Kindman had to deal with that clown pet, said Sanji showing memories of his happy times stuck in Nami body, but his happy moments were cut off by Smiley's appearance. The League was surprised by that monster's appearance. Wow, Sanji, what's that? Asked. Apparently a huge amount toxin that somehow got a fruit that turns into a salamander. I wish I didn't encounter that thing, said Sanji all disgusted. Is that a big salamander of slime? Asked Captain Adam with a raised eyebrow. Yes, and is pretty much deadly as it looks, said Sanji showing off his memories of slimy toxics. The smells, the toxic touch and the deadly walk which that thing did. Jesus, said Black Canary in horror. We managed to escape, and we learned the samurai main power, said Brook. Firefox style, said Luffy and Chopper all excited. They all saw Kindman with his swords cutting down the flames given by Slimy. The League was astounded by the samurai powers. The fact that he was able to cut fire was sure an indication that he was powerful. Did he cut the flames? Asked Martian Manhunter in shock. Yeah, Kin can do that, said Luffy. Impressive. Is that his devil fruit? Asked Superman. Oh no, that is just his skill and power. But he does have a devil fruit, said Luffy. Really, what is? Asked the Flash. He can make clothes, said Nami all simple. The League was just confused by that. And? Asked Green Arrow wanting more explanation. That's it, said Luffy. You telling me that this guy Devil Fruit can only make clothes, and he can cut fire all by himself? Asked Hawkman all irritated by that. A human could cut fire with only training while his incredible Devil Fruit could only make mere clothes. What the main problem? I don't see it, said Luffy looking at the League. Their world is a madhouse, said Hal Jordan with a huge headache. Okay, while we were escaping me and Luffy meet up with Trafalgar Law and, said Nami, we made the alliance, said Luffy completing the sentence. Memories of the Surgeon of Death appear. Their time making the alliance to take down Kaido and showing to the world a huge combination of powers. Your pirate alliance, said Batman looking at Law. He figures that he wasn't as gullible as Luffy was. Yes, me and Traffy become pirate friends. So, we can take off the Yonkos, said Luffy all excited. Yeah, that is a question that is good to bring up. In that newspaper they called you the fifth Yonko. What is that? Asked Aquaman curiously. In our world, the Yonko are the most powerful pirates, the ones that are most close to become the king of the pirates. They have countries and islands under the fist, hundreds of followers and power beyond hope, explained Nami. The League only listened very carefully to that information. To seize Yonko has seemed like bad news. The ways that the Straw Hats were speaking was almost as if they were referring to the news gods or some intergalactic force. Who are they? Asked Superman all serious. We encounter one, Charlotte Lilinaka Big Mom, who is gonna appear later, said Nami remembering of that horrible woman. But the images were not yet showed to the League. Alright, said Batman. Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard, said Chopper. Just saying his name made Luffy clutch his fist. Figures there is someone with that name, said the Flash. Red-haired Shanks, said Nami. And finally, the King of Beast Kaido, said Sanji. King of Beast, questioned John Stewart. I don't like the sound of that, said Zatanna. Straw Hat, why did you decide to join Trafalgar Law? Asked Batman. Why not? Have a pirate alliance seem to be fun. Plus, Traffy could help me with my idea, said Luffy. What idea? Asked Aquaman. See, if I am going to become the king of the pirates, I need to beat the other 4 Yonko, said Luffy explaining his plan to become king of the pirates. The League had various sort of reactions to this plan. So, your plan is to battle up these 4 gigantic pirates, said Black Canary all weird out to say the least. Yes, me and my friends will face those jerks and then find the One Piece, sighed Luffy all excited. That made Sanji and Nami facepalm of his declaration. It made them look so ridiculous. He sounds way too confidante, said Captain Adam. Are you recording this? Asked Wonder Woman to Batman, who was staying way too quiet during this meeting. Yes, every word, said him all dark. So, what happens next? Asked Hal Jordan. We tried to capture Caesar but we failed. Then we learned that he was the employer of someone way worse, said Luffy all grumpy. He remembers the experimental where Caesar used a bit of his drug in an apple, and it turned into a devil. What? Said Superman, and some of the other Justice League members and members of the younger team were in horror. That could only be. Yes, turns out the whole drug was just a side project. Caesar had another plan in mind. An artificial devil fruit, said Chopper, remembering of Caesar trying to copy Dr. Vegapunk's experiment. The only successful artificial devil fruit was eaten by Momo. Artificial, said Batman with an intriguing voice, for what Trafalgar told us is the possibility to make a fruit of any kind into a devil fruit and guarantee some kind power, said Chopper. My good, said Black Canary in horror. If those things got in the hands of an army of supervillains, it could be a real problem for the League. If this lands on someone's hands, it could be a catastrophe, said Captain Atom, also having the same thoughts. Don't worry about it. Luffy blows up his lab so his research is gone, said Nami with a smile. Images of Luffy, Traffy, and Smoker destroying the lab were a show. Sure, there was collateral damage, but it was for the better good. I know this your world, but I am getting nervous just to think of what happened there, said Zatanna, trembling. Who was the boss of the operation? Asked Batman. If Caesar was an employee, then who was the boss? Another pirate called Donquixote Doflamingo, said Sanji. Then images of the infamous pirates appear, always smiling and with his purple sunglasses. Mingo, said Luffy all angry. Is this guy for real? Asked Green Arrow with a raised eyebrow. Doflamingo looked really silly to be considered a bad guy. Dress as a flamingo. We would see some looser villain do this, but, said Shazam with a smile, but Nami cut then. Don't overlook this guy because of his outfit. He is a bloodthirsty monster, screamed Nami. She saw Doflamingo once and it was one of the scariest moments of her life. What is he, devil fruit? Asked Superman. Strings, said Sanji. What? Said Batman, intrigued. You heard me. Strings as sharp as the biggest knives the kitchen, said Sanji. Images appeared of Doflamingo using his devil fruit, cutting people in Dressrosa, flying in the sky thanks to the clouds. The way he attacks and laughs of the carnage that he caused. The man was a maniac that could be a Buffy of the Joker. Dear God, said Superman, seeing the warlord actions. Oh my, said Red Robin, infuriated. I am never pissing off a flamingo ever again, said Static Shock, afraid of the guy alongside Blue Beetle. These people keep getting worse by the second, said Wonder Woman. Well, after we learned that me and my friends managed to escape from Caesar. So while I was going to kick his ass, I got stopped by a harpy, said Luffy. Did you say harpy? Asked Hawkman. Yes, said Luffy, remembering the green-haired harpy Monet. Dude, that's so hot, harpy, said Beast Boy. Shut up, said Raven, punching the green boy. Who is this? Asked Black Canary. That's Caesar assistant. She is also a snow woman and a really scary one, said Luffy. Wait. She can control snow? Asked Dr. Fate. Yes, said Luffy, and images of Luffy fighting Monet appeared. She made a huge amount of snow appeared of nowhere. Luffy trying to punch here and nothing working. The last thing that appears was Luffy being buried under a huge amount of snow. Okay, this is getting so confusing. Your devil fruits are really broken. You told us that there is someone that can control ice, and now there is someone that can make snow, said Jon Stewart, wanting something coherenting. John, calm down, said Hawkgirl. I'm sorry. Is just, said John, losing his cool. It is frustrating, we get it. But we need to hear this story, said Hawkmna, also feeling tired, but he needs to keep hearing. Continue please, said Wonder Woman. So, I managed to escape that harpy girl, and I was told Zoro took care of her. There I finally managed to find Caesar, said Luffy, remembering the time he punched Caesar right in the face. You hit right in the face, said Hal Jordan, surprised by the speed and strength of Luffy. Nice, said Green Arrow, seeing that bastard of Caesar seeing punched in the face. He keeps missing some punches, said Vixen, seeing Caesar dodging some attacks. Caesar is a Loja. Only his armament Haki could pitch his defense, said Chopper. After that, I just kick his ass, said Luffy, remembering the finishing move. Gamu Gamu no Grizzly Magnus, said Luffy, doing his giant attack in Gear 3. After that, Caesar Clown was defeated. You did a good job there, kid, said Aquaman with a smile. Thanks, said Luffy with his goofy grin. So, we took Caesar as our prisoner, mostly because that was Traffy's plan, said Luffy, remembering putting Caesar on his ship, while Kainen and Momo also were aboard. Why? Asked Dr. Fate, intrigued. Traffy wanted to defeat Mingo, and without Caesar, he wouldn't be able to counterattack, said Luffy, trying to remember Law plan but with some difficulties. I get it. Caesar was the maker of the artificial fruits, and without him, his operation falls apart. said Batman. After that, we left the kids with the Marines and went to Doflamingo Kingdom of Dressrosa, said Sanji, remembering entering Dressrosa. The heroes were fascinated with the place. It looks big, charming, and full of ... toys. It looks like Spain, said the Flash. What is Spain? Asked Luffy. The country of our world, said Wonder Woman. Really? That's way cool, said Luffy, wondering if there are more islands of his world similar to places on their world. Since this place was huge, we separated into groups to help in the situation, said Sanji. He was in the initial team before he was sent back to the Sunny. The League saw what appeared to be a very similar island. However, there was one thing off. What is with those toys? Asked Hal Jordan, seeing a bunch of toys walking around Dressrosa. It looked like a fairy tale, but something seemed weird. Oh yeah, Usopp explained that to me, said Luffy, feeling a little sad, but glad that was not the case anymore. What is the deal? Asked Superman. Is a devil fruit. Mingo had somebody in his crew that could turn people into toys for a long time, said Luffy, shocking his crew, the Justice League and the younger team, most by the fact that those toys were all over the place. By the goods, said Wonder Woman, all sad. They also explained to me that they erases people's memories. So, if you become a toy, said Luffy, remembering Robin and Usopp's explanation. That made the League angrier. Doflamingo was a goddamn monster. Bastard, said Hawkman, all angry, wanting to bash someone's head. Look at how many toys, said Superboy in horror. Those poor people, said Miss Martian, all sad, but Connor comforts her. I understood more because I met a soldier who was the leader of a rebellion, said Luffy, remembering the little soldier of one leg that was Rebecca's father. Rebellion, said Red Tornado, intrigued. We will explain later. The point also was outside of delivering Caesar, they were also going to destroy a factory that was in Dressrosa, said Sanji, remembering Law Plan. Yeah, also, Kin mentions that one of his friends was there as a prisoner, said Luffy, remembering Kin request. What is his name? Asked Captain Adam. Kinjiro, said Luffy, and images of the pale samurai from Wano appear. That's too much coincidence if you ask me, said Batman with some suspicion. I don't know. After all that, I expect Bigfoot to appear, said the Flash with a laugh. Let's not start to lose sense here, people, said Black Lightning, trying to not have a heeched. Geez, you guys take this way too serious, said Luffy, seeing the League with serious face and thinking way hard. Of course we take, screamed most of the League, irritated. Just for that comment, Nami punched Luffy. Luffy, just continue. Our memories are still being shown, said Nami. Oh okay. So, we enter the kingdom and there was a Colosseum tournament happened there. We discovered that the main prize was ... my big brother Ace Devil Fruit, said Luffy with a sad smile. The League remembers one of the notes about Devil Fruit was that when a person with Devil Fruit died, the fruit got reincarnated. So that meant Luffy brother was. Oh, said most of the League with some sad face. We are sorry for your loss, said Superman, trying to comfort Luffy, but the Straw Hat Captain just smile and continue. That's okay. After hearing that I singed to the tournament but I couldn't put my name so I went as Luffy, said Luffy with a smile. The League and younger team all sweat drop after hearing that statement. That's your name, said Green Arrow, all annoyed. Oh, wait, I didn't put that, said Luffy, remembering right. He was going to put Luffy but then Frank hit him and then he put Lucy. It shows there Lucy, said Black Canary, seeing the name tag. How original, said Hawkgirl with sarcasm. I'm still happy that I went to this tournament. I meet so many good people who became my friends, said Luffy, remembering so many moments of the tournaments. All his new friends and allies that he made there. Images of Cavendish, Bartolomeo, Sai, Don Chinjao, Boo, Rebecca, Leo, Harjuan, Idio, Orlumbus, Blue Gilly, Abdullah, Jeet, Viola, King Elizabelo II, Dagama, Mosi, King Rinku, Kairos, and so many others. The League was analyzed and intrigued by Luffy friends. Most of them look weird, but it appear it was the normal for their world. They saw many interesting abilities. Cavendish speed and swords kill, Bartolomeo barriers, Sai kicks, Leo agility, Orlumbus commando, Idio explosions, Harjuan determinacy, and so many others conquests. They see interesting, said Superman with a smile. Look at those little things, said Wonder Girl with a high school glee. Most of the girls of the younger team were fascinated with the Tontata, while the guys were just weirded out. They are so adorable, said Starfire, seeing the Tontata. Raven was all quiet seeing the Tontata, but secretly she thought they were so adorable. Oh, Raven, you, said Miss Martian with a laugh, but Raven interfered. Don't you dare, said Raven with a very dark tone of voice, almost demonic. Who are these guys? Asked Nami, whispering to her crewmates. I have no idea, said Chopper, Brook, Carrot, and Sanji. However, I need to get out there after what I saw. said Luffy, remembering one of the breakpoints that happened at Dressrosa. Hey, is the Doflamingo guy, said Flash, seeing Doflamingo in the streets. In Trafalgar Law, said Batman, seeing Law all beat up. You piss me off, Law, said the memories of Doflamingo, shooting Law repeatedly. Bang bang bang. The heroes as well the Straw Hat were in horror for that scene. Doflamingo was now commenting murder in broad daylight and shooting Law like a wild animal. Traffy, screamed the memories of Luffy and seeing his friend being killed. Oh my, is he? Said Wonder Woman in horror. However, Luffy quickly answered for the League. No, Traffy survives. He was in really shape bad, but he has so really tough attitude, said Luffy all calm. Man, they weren't kidding about being superhuman, said Black Lightwing, cleaning some sweat from his forehead. I need to leave, but the problem, I couldn't let somebody get Ace Devil Fruit. However, I reunited with, said Luffy all happy, remembering his encounter with Sabo. Who is that? Asked Superman. That's my other brother Sabo, said Luffy. Other brother, said most of the League in shock. Yeah, he also only told us recently. Kind something big to left out, said Nami with a tired expression. She remembers reading that Sabo was the second in command of the Revolutionary Army. Luffy's family sure is a chaotic one. Hey, I thought he was dead for years. But he wasn't, said Luffy, starting to have a sad cry moment, but then Nami hits him in the head. This isn't time for cry, said Nami all serious. Sorry, said Luffy with a goofy grin, while the Justice League only sweat. Every minute with those peoples was like be at a madhouse. Okay, said Black Canary. What happens next? Asked Aquaman. After that, I need to leave and help my friends with a rebellion against Mingo and his crew, said Luffy, remembering him. Zoro and the rest of the Colosseum going after the executive members of the crew. What did you people do? Asked Superman. We fought, said Luffy, remembering the mess of a war that happens in Dressrosa. It appeared Zoro cutting Pika in many pieces, Cavendish cutting thousands of soldiers in seconds, Bartolomeo protecting everyone with his barriers, Sai and Chinjao using the Happo Navy attacks. In the mid of all that was Luffy facing of Doflamingo. You two really are fighting like two powerhouses, said Hal Jordan, seeing Luffy fighting at full strength and ferocity against Doflamingo. Yeah, like Big Blue and another Kryptonian menace, said Green Arrow. What are they talking about? Thought Carrot. It was difficult. Me and my friends were all very tired after that. We managed to defeat someone like him and then escape. All worked in our favor, said Luffy, remembering the last moments of his fight. He and Mingo clashing with conquerors, the use of Gear 4, losing for a while until recharge, and saving Viola to be killed by a manipulated Rebecca. The League was just shocked by how much Luffy had endured. If were they, it would probably took out a lot of energy and stamina. It would be like when a great plan from the Legion of Doom happens. They need to relax before the next big event. The final images were showed. Luffy and Doflamingo were in the air, surrounded by a weird string birdcage. Luffy was in his bounce man form again, and Doflamingo had made more strings with the help of his awakening. Even with that power, Luffy managed to beat it. King Kong gun, screamed the memories of Luffy. The heroes saw Luffy punch Doflamingo so hard that he sent the villain to the department of his own island, almost breaking Dressrosa in half. It was a truly epic thing, to say the least. They saw Luffy there just watching to see his memories of his feat like it was nothing, like it was common for him. Luffy, you, said Superman, other impressed, but Luffy stopped him with a sign. Don't need to speak about it. I need to do it. Mingo had messed up that place and destroyed the lives of many people. My breaking point was what he did with the toy soldier. After that I promised to kick his ass to Rebecca. And I did, said Luffy, clutching his fist. You killed him. Nobody of normal form could survive that punch, said Aquaman, all pissed. Read the papers. The bastard is in jail, said Sanji, pointing out what happens. What? No, that can't, said Shazam in disbelief. However, Batman, read the article once again. Is true. He was sent to a prison called Impel Down, said Batman. So, he is still alive. Good, at least we know that you are not one to kill, said Red Tornado. No, I never kill. I hate Mingo, but I will go that far, said Luffy, super serious for once. Good to know, said Wonder Woman with a smile. We are not finished, said Nami, being serious. Yeah, so this our cue. While most of the crew were busy with Doflamingo, we went to the island of Zoo, said Chopper, remembering the setting to Zoo. That's where I live, said Carrot, all happy. Yeah, Carrot, said Chopper with a laugh. Okay, how is this island? Asked Vixen. However, her and most of the League got with no words when they saw the giant ancient elephant. Is that an elephant? Asked Black Canary, shaken by that enormous animal. Can you believe that? Asked Nightwing, all in horror. Now that is an elephant, said Robin in a rare moment of horror. I can't believe there is a thing like that walking in the ocean, said Kaldir, all horrified of a giant animal like that walking in the ocean. If ever stepped into Atlantis, it would be a disaster, said Dolphin. Yeah, you guys thought it was a joke, asked Chopper, seeing the League jaw-dropped expression. Is that an elephant? Asked John Stewart, all in disbelief. How? He asked the Flash, rubbing his eyes multiple times to see if it was real. Why? Asked Dr. Fate. Is that thing alive? Asked Zatanna. Well, Zunisha is the protector of our country for centuries, so I guess yes, said Carrot, answering like it was the simplest answer ever. I need a drink, said Captain Atom, rubbing his head. Okay buddy, after this we all need something strong, said Black Lightning, also needing a cold drink. Got that right, said the military hero. So, we climbed the animal, thanks to Kanjiro drawing, and we found this, said Luffy, remembering seeing the zoo florets and wreck. What happens there? Asked Wonder Woman. Jack happen, said Carrot, all angry. Who is Jack? Asked Hawk Girl. Carrot changes her expression of angry to sad. He is one of the main men of the Beast Pirates, operated by the Yonko Kaido, said Nami. The League now got curious, mostly because it involved those Yonko personalities. Apparently they went there looking for someone. Wano. Reizu the ninja, said Sanji. Ninja, said all the ninjas, all in surprise. First samurai and now a ninja. Yeah, you guys, I can't wait for Reizu to show up. He is awesome, he does jutsu, smoke bombs, said Luffy, making a lot of shinobi poses. So, is he a true ninja? Asked Red Robin, is interested. Yeah, said Luffy with stars in his eyes. The Minks have a royal code of protecting our friends. Reizu-sama was a close friend of both Duke Dogstorm and Master Cat Viper, so we chained him to safe place and guard him with our life, said Carrot, remembering the words that Duke Dogstorm gave her and the other musketeer as soon they chained Reizu. Carrot, said Wonder Woman, kind impressed by the young rabbit girl bravery. I didn't expect this, said Black Canary. Just the thought of Jack, it's trigged Carrot memories. When Jack and his men strapped her and the other Minks and tortured them for days non-stop. I swear I don't know who this guy is, screamed Carrot, being tortured with swords by many pleasure pirates of Kaido. Oh my god, said Hal Jordan in shock. That was just medieval torture. The League saw what the Beast Pirates did to the Minks and they got so many feelings about this situation. You poor creature, said Hawkgirl, feeling sorry for Carrot. At this point, Nami and Brook were confronting her. They wouldn't leave. Even with both Duke and Master flighted him non-stop and he wouldn't leave. He managed to arrest us and, said Carrot, remembering seeing her Duke being strapped on the pole and interrogated. Tell me where the ninja from Wano is, said Jack, hitting Dogstorm. I don't know who you are talking about, said the Duke, coughing blood. Men, said Jack, addressing his people. Yes, Jack-sama, said the pleasure, ready to torture Dogstorm. AARGH, screamed the big dog in pain. The League were with horror expression upon seeing those scenes. No wonder Carrot looked so sad right now. Anybody would lose his mind if they were in this environment. Duke Dogstorm lost an arm and Master Cat Viper lost a leg, said Carrot, remembering seeing the strongest men of Zoo now without some limits. We came after Jack and his troop has left. We immediately attend to their aim, said Chopper. We also took Caesar with us. Apparently they use a lethal gas made by him, so he forced to make an antidote, said Brook. That's good thinking, said Batman. I remember helping those poor creatures, said Sanji, having some memories. I made more soup, said Sanji, making some food for the Minks. Yeah, screamed the Mink tribe, all happy, and especially the Mink girls. I miss those cute Mink girls, said Sanji with a sad smile. Ew, said Blue Beetle, disgusted by that scene. Everything was fine, until, said Nami, remembering that everything was fine until Bege appeared. Who is that? Asked Shazam, looking at the pirate mobster. Capone Bege, an infamous pirate who rises to power the same time as Luffy, said Chopper, remembering Shaggy's description of the supernovas, which Bege was a part of it. Dude looks like a stereotypical mob, said Green Arrow with a smirk. So, he and his crew capture us and took us hostage, said Brook. Why? Asked Red Tornado. Because of me, said Sanji, being serious. Alright, the seas is gonna get more confusing, said Nami, telling the League to brace themselves. After this, we believe anything, said Superman, being sincere. Okay, Bege was there representing the other Yonko Big Mom. He needs to catch me to marry one of her daughters, said Sanji, still struggling to say the last part. Even if Pudding saved them, he hated that the Germa played with him. Also, for some reason, he can't remember saying goodbye to Pudding after delivering the cake. What is his problem? Asked Hakuman, seeing Sanji's face. Sanji doesn't like his family, said Chopper. They are not my family. They are garbage that can burn in hell, said Sanji. Wow man, chill out, said Green Arrow, seeing the cook way of speaking. I'm sorry about that. Sanji-kun family is an infamous army of assassin, said Nami, being honest. What? Said some of the heroes in shock to hear that revelation. In our world, There is a military branch called Germa 66 operated by Sanji-kun father. We thought they were only a rumor but apparently not, said Nami. That information was still fresh to her mind. Why are you with them? Said Batman all cold. Because I'm the failure of a son. I have humanity, said Sanji being honest all grumpy. What? Said Robin in the back with the younger team. He was quiet but this time he wanting to listen the rest of this story. My bastard of a father wanted to create super android sons, completed with no emotions and obeying his commando. I have 3 older siblings and 1 younger. They are all emotionless killing machines, said Sanji all cold and ruthless. Memories of the Vinsmoke sibling appeared with their Germa suits and their power. The heroes had their fair share of the super-powered army, made by villains, factions and sometimes the government. The Germa looked like a Japanese superhero team because the nerve expects a murderous team be so colorful. The Justice League was just thinking of how much threats the pirates' world had. First of course pirates, also sometimes their government that seemed to be corrupted and dictated. Every information that they had they would take notes and achieved. Damien was silent but he felt a shock sense of sympathy for Sanji. His mother had original plans for the perfect child so she had him made suffer genetic modifications so he could be the perfect child of the bat. He doesn't remember how many of himself were lost during the test. How did you? Asked Batman wanting to know if Sanji also had the actions of his siblings before he could continue. The cook cuts him off. My mom took some medication to prevent this, said Sanji. Oh, said Batman showing some sign of sympathy. Is okay. I move on, said Sanji with a smile looking at his friends alongside him. So, what happens? Asked Jon Stewart. Well, my shit father thought I will be of good use. So, he decides to set me up with a marriage of 1 Big Mom daughters, said Sanji remembering the deal that Judge told him. Why she got this name Big Mom? Asked Shazam. She has over 88 kids, said Sanji remembering his sister explanation over the Yonko. What? Said almost of the members of the league in the horror of that answer. That sound more like an animal and not like an human. Now that's a big mama, said Hal Jordan with a comment. Hey look it's her, said Luffy pointing out her memory. The Justice League saw their second vision of Yonko, and needless to say, they were horrified by the giant pink-haired woman. Oh, said Superman in surprise and seeing the hulking woman running in Totaland. Jesus, said Black Lightning. Dear God that's horrifying, said Zatanna with a chill in her spine. Kill it with fire, said Shazam. The younger team was also horrified by the look of Big Mom. Not only the fact that she was a giant with an ugly face but according to the pirates she was a giant threat. Okay, now, this is ugly, said Red Robin actually disgusted. You said it, said Spoiler. She is like a giant old lady, said Rocket. By the size, she looks like she spends most of her days eating, said Nightwing analyzing the woman. I can sense a murder intention in those eyes. Is she strong? Asked Wonder Woman. Yes, Wonder Woman-sama she is pretty strong. I fought her and barely got out, said Brook and images of Brook fight appeared. They saw Big Mom using both Zeus and Prometheus. With that fight they have no idea what kind of devil fruit she had but guess they will learn later. Also, they were also impressed that Brook, a skeleton, faced a giant threat and got out alive. You did good Brook, said Luffy giving a thumbs up. Thanks Captain, said Brook. When Luffy shows up, we gather ourselves to some shocking revelation, said Nami going back to the discussion in Zoo after the Minks state to be allies. What was it? Asked Captain Adam. We found out how to find the One Piece. Scream Luffy all excited. What? Scream all the league in shock. They had been talking about this king of the pirates and this treasure of all treasures since their discussion started. Now Luffy pretty much scream out loud the reveal. Luffy, scream Nami, Sanji, Brook, and Chopper all scared for Luffy to give the location of the One Piece. Carrot just stood there confused, because she didn't even know what a One Piece meant. You don't need to shout out this, said Batman. We need, said all the Straw Hats still punishing Luffy for spilling the beans. But they thought for a minute and really didn't see a bunch of heroes try to become king of the pirates. So, you guys figure out a way, asked Superman. Tell us, said Wonder Woman quite curious. Alright, so, there is this huge block of stone with some weird scripture called Poneglyphs. They were made in secret to apparently tell the real history of the world, said Nami remembering Robin's explanation. Real history, asked Aquaman with a raised eyebrow. Our government is corrupt, very corrupt, and they will kill and destroy anyone who knows the truth. However, these blocks contain the real history of how the world was made. They have agents that act as the true justice to make sure everything goes their way, said Sanji all cold. The League stood there in silence. They know government isn't all honest and happy. One of the main reasons why the League is not associated with the government is because they fear they tell them who is an enemy. Something not very unrealistic. The way Sanji spoke, it sounded that their government was 10 times worse than of their world. And this an Earth that elected Lex Luthor for president for a while. Oh yeah, Pigeon Guy and his friends. Bunch of assholes, said Luffy, remembering CP9 and images of Unis Lob appear with Spandam giving the what means real justice in that reality. And I thought pirates were bad, said Aquaman, all pissed at those bastards. We are the exception, said Nami with a smile. Okay, back to this Poneglyphs, said Batman, wanting to hear the rest. Oh yeah, the catch is written in a way very difficult to read, said an AMI. But we do have someone who can read that, said Chopper, all happy. Robin-chan, said Sanji with hard eyes, just remembering Robin. Demon child Nico. Robin, said Red Tornado. Don't call Robin-chan a demon, screamed Sanji, all pissed at the android. So, there is this Poneglyph that is red, and tell the location, the island where the One Piece is at, said Nami, remembering the explanation that Cat and Dog gave. The problem is that there are 4 of those stones, said Chopper. There are 4 treasures, asked Black, lighting in surprised. I thought the same thing, said Luffy with a laugh. No, is a map, said Batman, figuring out that that meant Batman is right. So, one of these stones is in Zoo, one is with Big Mom, one with Kaido, and the other one we have one idea, said Nami, remembering the locations of the Road Poneglyphs. So, what were the next steps, asked the Flash. We went to rescue Sanji but also took a copy of the Poneglyph, said Chopper. Yes, Brook is with them, said Carrot, remembering Brook showing the Poneglyphs. And I'm still with, said Brook, all confident. How so? We check on the ship, there is no stone, asked Superman, confused. Oh, no, Superman-sama. Since this is an important piece of paper, I decided to guard this information on the trustiest place on the crew, said Brook, all proud. Where? Asked Batman. In myself, said Brook, opening his skull. Crank, arg, said some League members and younger members, disgusted of that action as Brook take of the sketches of his body. Don't do that in front of people, said Nami, punching Brook. Sorry, said Brook with a sweat drop. There you are, said Chopper, and the League just stood there looking at the weird scribbles. Ah, the Poneglyphs are safe, said Luffy, all happy. Can we? Asked Superman, wanting to check those writing. Please be careful. We almost die trying to get those, said Nami with nervous sweat. The League were all looking at the weird language with so many difficult to understand. Even those with incredible knowledge like Dr. Fate, Shazam, Batman, and Wonder Woman couldn't read it. I can't understand, said Batman. Me neither, said Wonder Woman. And she was a person that learned diverse languages during her 1,000 years of life. I can read thousands of aliens' languages, but I can't discover what is written, said Superman, genially intrigued. Zatanna, can you? Asked Dr. Fate to his fellow mystical companion. Is not gonna work. My spells can't always translate the ancient language, and by the looks, the people who write try their best to hide it, said Zatanna, looking at the sketches. That's why Robin has a big role in our crew, said Luffy with a proud smile. Yeah, without Robin we couldn't go anywhere, said Chopper. Can we take some pictures? Asked Superman, wanting to study more of the Poneglyphs later. Luffy, said Nami, kind nervous. Is okay. We are not trying to become king of the pirates, said Superman with a smile, calming the pirates. Good, because that's my goal, said Luffy, all proud. Sure, said Superman, laughing at Luffy's attitude. Alright, what next? Asked Wonder Woman, wanting to know the rest. After we discovered the truth about Kindman and Momo, said Nami. Yet turns out they were not father and son, said Luffy. What? Said the League, seeing images of both Kindman and Momo together. But they kind look alike, said Black Canary with a sweat drop. Yes, so the truth is, Momo is the son of the rightful shogun of Wano, Kazuki Oden, meaning that his name is Momonosuke Oden, said Nami, remembering Kindman's explanation. That honestly got all the heroes by surprise. And Kindman? Asked Martian Manhunter. He is a loyal subnitrate of Momo father. In other words, he is loyal Momo, said Nami, remembering Kindman words. So is this Oden the real person that rules over Wano? Asked Batman, now wanting to know more. Not anymore, said Nami, all sad alongside the group. What do you? Asked Wonder Woman, wanting to know more, but Luffy went straight to the point. Oden is dead. He was killed by the current shogun of Wano and Kaido, said Luffy, all cold. The League was shocked by that answer. According to Kindman, they made sure that Wano was closed because the dream of Momo father was to open the borders of the country so the whole country could be explored, said Luffy. That is a noble goal, said Aquaman, intrigued by that goal. So that is your mission? Open a closed country full of samurai? Asked Batman, all dubious. Yes, we know is a little dangerous, but our friends are trustworthy, said Luffy, full of confidence in his choice. You seem confidente about it, said Batman. Of course, I am this the way I do things, said Luffy, all proud. We noticed, said most of the league. So you were all going to Wano? Asked Hawkman, figuring out. Yes, we split into groups. We went pick Sanji. The rest of my crew alongside Kin and Traffy went to Wano and Cat went look for more allies, said Luffy, explaining Kin's strategy. Images of his team appeared right before they left Zoo, with Pedro and Peckham's. Who is that leopard? Asked John Stewart. That's a jaguar, said Vixen. How can you? Asked John Stewart, but Vixen pointed to her totem in her bracelet. Oh yeah, bone copy, said John with a smile. That's Pedro. He is the Master Cat Viper's strongest warrior, said Carrot with a cheerful smile of just seeing Pedro face again. Where is? Asked Superman, wanting to know Pedro whereabout. But the crew face said enough. I'm sorry, said Superman. Pedro sacrificed for us, and the worst thing, the guy he tries to kill survive, said Carrot, all sad, remembering Prospero surviving being exploded in the face. We don't like killing, but your friend's sacrifice was something very noble, said Wonder Woman, seeing he jaguar sacrifice. So, we went to Big Mom country. It was sweet, said Luffy, remembering entering the county of the Yonko. Literally, said Nami, also remembering the candy city. Man, this look good, said Shazam, all giggly seeing all that candy. I'm having teeth problems just by looking, said Captain Atom, clutching his jaw. Is like the house of Hansel and Gretel become a whole city, said Zatanna. And the witch is the mayor, said Black Canary. We found the girl that Sanji was supposed to marry and first we liked her, said Chopper, remembering the group meeting Pudding in that cafe. Ah, Pudding-chan, said Sanji, all in heart eyes. She seemed very sweet, said Green Arrow with a smile. She is faking it, said Batman, all direct, getting the league by surprise. Totally, said Nami, all serious too. Yeah, she is a good actress. She fouls all of us, said Luffy, all angry that Pudding was a bad person. After that, we went looking for Sanji. We slipped and end up in a creepy-ass woods, said Nami, remembering entering the seducing wood of Whole Cake Island. The thing that surprised and creeped out the league ... was all the faces in almost every tree. You will never leave. You will never leave. Repeat the trees singing. Okay, this is totally creepy, said Black Lighting. Why those things have faces? Asked Zatanna, all creeped out. They are called homing, created by Big Mom Devil Fruit, the soul fruit, said Nami, remembering Pound explanation. Now the heroes were scared. A fruit that makes you control souls. That's a very dangerous and powerful ability. The possibility and horrors that could make is out of the question. This, said Wonder Woman, fully in horror, just imaging what Big Mom do with mortal souls. Now this is scary. How come your navy or I don't know who else has power go and take on her? Asked Green Arrow. Fight a Yonko. Are you suicidal? She has over millions of followers, legions and other sort of hidden things. She could kill anyone in her path, and her strongest warrior are her children, said Sanji, being rational. Yes, you mean ... the 88 children, said Black Canary, trying to say the last part with normal face but failing. Just imaging giving birth to 88 kids, your body will be a mess, and she couldn't have kids, but she knew how giving birth might be. Dear God, this sound horrifying, said Zatanna, getting sick just thinking about. We fought one the wood. Name's Cracker, said Nami, remembering the huge biscuit pirate. What is that? Asked Shazam, looking at a tall brown giant with many arms. Don't worry, this is an armor, said Luffy. An armor, said Hawkman, confused. Yes, the jerk said to have high pain tolerance, so he covers himself in his biscuit armor, said Luffy. However, the last part of his sentence made the league confused. That man fights with biscuits. You mean his power is to make biscuit? Asked Black Lighting, conduced. How is making biscuit a problem? Asked Green Arrow with a laugh. When you can make those things, it sure is, said Luffy, remembering breaking Cracker armor, revealing the real one. So that's how he looks like, said Red Robin, looking at the 10th son of Big Mom. Kind weird, I might say, said Spoiler with a curious face. What is the deal with that fire in his hair? Asked Rocket, seeing the weird hair combination. Navy style, asked Wonder Girl. No, I get it, said Beast Boy. What is it, Gar? Asked Halo. Because he is a firecracker, said Beast Boy with a laugh, while everybody just grunted of the horrible pun. Oh man, said Static Shock, annoyed. Shut up, said Blue Battle. What, it was funny, said Beast Boy with a smile. Your definition of funny is really sad, said Raven with a cold voice. Oh, give a break, Raven, said Beat Boy with a sweat in his head. The league saw Luffy fighting Cracker endless army of biscuit soldiers. For what appeared to be an eternity. We fought the whole night. It was a routine. I poured rain. Luffy eats those things and then he made more, said Nami, remembering making her moves to make the biscuit easier to break. You eat those things? Asked Flash with a confused expression. Yeah, they were not bad, but it was hard to keep going, said Luffy, remembering eating all those soldiers. The Justice League saw Luffy eating dozens upon dozens of army's biscuits, pretty much becoming a huge balloon man. Needless to say, it was a kind disgusting to see. You look like it's about to explode, said Captain Atom, kind confused on how Luffy anatomy works. After a while, he tried to pierce and then, said Luffy, remembering Cracker using his sword to pierce Luffy. However, the huge amount of food eaten by Luffy was enough to form a Gear 4 tank man. When Cracker attacked, Luffy's belly was big enough to trap Cracker and then sent him the cannonball style. Cannonball, said Luffy, shooting Cracker out of the woods like he was a cannon. Ouch, said most of the league in shock of that move. They also saw Crackers being launched like a human ball. That's must hurt, said Black Lighting. Didn't he say that he has a low pain tolerance? Said Black Canary, remembering that note about Cracker. They all seen Cracker being hit by tree upon tree thanks to Luffy attack. Yeah, he ain't fine, said Shazam. Then we found Sanji. We fought, we got captured by Big Mom, but we escaped thanks to Jinbei, said Luffy, remembering his argument and battle with Sanji, refusing to eat anything that wasn't made by him, facing off an army of Big Mom pirates. He put on the jail, then Jinbei appearing in the last second to save him and Nami. Who is Jinbei? Asked Batman. Our new crew member, said Luffy, all happy. Then images of the karate fishman appeared in the memories, making the league intrigued by his appearance. What is he? Asked Aquaman. Is a fishman and a very badass one, said Chopper, all excited that now Jinbei is now his nakama. After we escape, I found Sanji and we reconcile, said Luffy, smiling. Sure, we did, pal, said Sanji, patting Luffy back. So, it turns out, Bege had a plan to kill Big Mom and he wanted us aboard, said Nami. That got the league by surprise and they want to ask what happened, but Nami cuts them. Before you ask, it fails, she's still alive, said Nami, all irritated. That still made the league a little less nervous, but still worried. Hey, tell me, if she was in your world you would beat? Asked Luffy, looking at the league. After what you said, yes, said Superman. After hearing what Big Mom does to people with her power, she is no person to cooperate with. They would have to fight. We might even put her in the source wall, said Wonder Woman, looking at the size of the giant. What is that? Asked Carrot. A huge wall at the end of the universe that makes sure to imprison everyone, said Superman, explaining the great prison. While Nami, Sanji, Chopper, Carrot, and Brook were terrified of just thinking of this place. Luffy was so curious. Cool, can we go there? Asked him. Not at the moment, said Wonder Woman. Oh, said Luffy, all sad. What was the gangster plan? Asked Jon Stewart. At the wedding, she has like a picture of an old lady that is special to her. The plan was to break the picture to make her weak, and then Bege and his crew would launch some chemical bombs at her, said Sanji. That sound extreme, said the Flash. How did she survive? Asked Vixen, curious on how a giant woman survives being attacked by bombs. She screamed so loud that it managed to destroy the bombs, said Nami, remembering that horror of a powerful scream. The league couldn't hear the shriek that was happening, but just looking by the surround, it sounded like one of the worst things imaginable. Man, that's a runner-up for my canary cry, said Black Canary in horror and with a hint of humor. Yeah, it failed. That asshole Caesar was told to do one job and it failed, said Nami, all grumpy. Wait, the mad scientist? Questioned Green Arrow. Yeah, Bege capture him and hand over to Big Mom. That asshole got his heart took out, so he was pretty much begging to not die, said Nami, all grumpy. More scenes from the wedding tea party were showed. Luffy jumping off the cake with dozens of clones and the real one announcing himself. The fight with many of Big Mom kids, but one of the main players appeared. That's when I meet him, said Luffy, all serious. It was time for Charlotte Katakuri. Who is the scary guy? Asked Shazam in surprise. Overall, so far, all the villains of Big Mom all had a very goofy look, but this one had a horrifying and scary look. All heroes were in tense position when he appeared. Charlotte Katakuri, said Luffy, all serious. What is his power? Asked Batman, wanting information. Mochai, said Luffy. They got the league by surprise. Mochai, the Japanese sweet, said the Flash with a laugh. How can Mochai be dangerous? Asked Green Arrow. I think this will change your mind, said Martian Manhunter, seeing the next memories. Images of the fight between Luffy and Katakuri were shown. Katakuri was fast, strong, smart, and a good user of both his devil fruit and haki. When they saw the fight, the league caught what Luffy suggests. Thanks to Mochai elasticity and the vantage that it nerves run out of a user, Katakuri was able to transform dessert into a deadly weapon. One that kicked a Luffy major ass. Okay, point taken, said the Flash, now tense from this fight. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman were all staring in horror by that manpower and ability. Yeah, Jin called him a special paramecia and it was hard. See that? Said Luffy, pointing out a scene where he tried to punch Katakuri. However, it just passed around him. It shows that he knew every time I was going to lend a punch, said Luffy, showing a point of intelligence. The League were in surprise by that remark. How did you survive, Luffy? Asked Chopper, all terrified. He sounds scary, said Carrot, also terrifying. I kept fighting and fighting, said Luffy, showing memories of what to be hours of him and Katakuri brawling. Luffy managed some hits, but Katakuri was really a far superior fighter. Man, it sound rough, said Captain Atom, watching the fight. Like two gladiators fighting to the death, said Wonder Woman, sounded impressed by the fight. Oh, I remember that part, said Luffy, seeing the scene where Katakuri transformed the ground into Machai. What is he doing? Asked Dr. Fate. He and Mingo had something called awakening. It makes your surround transforming in the thing your devil fruit can do. I still don't know how I can make these things into rubber, said Luffy, looking around and thinking. For what appear was the most difficult thing to Luffy do. I think is better you to not think so hard about that, said Nami with sweat drop. Oh man, he is gonna bury you in that, asked Green Arrow. Yep, said Luffy, remembering being covered by tons of Machai, and then just darkness. I almost die, said Luffy with a laugh. You said that so casual that is kind scary, said Zatanna, looking worried at Luffy. I got out of there by the usual way. I eat it, said Luffy, remembering eating his way out of his prison. How original, said Black Lighting. When I got out, he thought I was done, so I decided to eat for a while. I broke his house in, said Luffy, remembering what happened when he saw the little house that Katakuri made out during their fight. And that's when he discovered the secret of the sweet commander. And what was Luffy? Asked Vixen. I gonna ask for you all to not laugh him, said Luffy, being really serious this time. Huh, said the League, confused by Luffy request. What do you mean, Luffy? Asked Hal Jordan, confused. Just don't laugh off his mouth, said Luffy, looking around everyone. What are you? Asked Nami, and then everyone just frozen in what they saw. That Katakuri without his scarf had a really large mouth and sharp teeth. And right now, he was eating donuts like a sweet lover. It was really surreal, and kind broke the images of the guy they were present. Donuts, said Katakuri, shoving many donuts in his mouth while drinking some tea. What the hell? That was the thought of almost everyone in the room, while some wanting to laugh but at Luffy requests they were holding. However, Beast Boy lets out a giggle. Huh, said him. And that was enough to Luffy. I told you not to laugh at him, screamed Luffy at the top of his lounges, scaring everyone. Some of the heroes were even in battle position. Luffy, calm down, said Nami, super nervous. Chill out, man. Didn't he try to kill you? Asked Beast Boy, confused. What? Can't I have respect for my opponent? Said Luffy, serious, and that got a surprised look from everyone. Before this madness continues, Nightwing step in front. Sorry for that, Luffy. Beast Boy, for that you are going in patrol for 3 nights and so lunch breaks, said the leader of the Yonko group. Oh man, said Beast Boy, all sad. More work for him. Good, said Luffy, satisfied. The League was looking at him with more conflict thoughts than before now. He may sound stupid, but he is an honorable man, thought Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Sorry for that, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, me and Katakuri fighting. That was really crazy. He was the first 1 billion bounty man that I ever fought, said Luffy, remembering more of his fight. How long did your fight last? Asked Jon Stewart. The fight looked like it was lasting hours. 13 hours, said Luffy. That got everyone by surprise. Luffy handled that guy for 13 hours straight. You are way more durable than it looks, said Wonder Woman, praising Luffy. Thanks, said Luffy. So, you defeat him? Asked Superman, and then images of Luffy on Snake Man and Katakuri without his shirt collide. Luffy and him fall, but then they got back and in the Katakuri fall on his back. Yeah, I did, and we were ready to sail. Sanji took care of Big Mom and Jinbei had to take care of some conflict with his previous crew, but he promised me to meet us in Wano, said Luffy, remembering his deal with Jinbei. And we got here, said Nami with a look of that's the end of the story so far. The Justice League were now student back by this crazy story. Luffy and his crew seemed generously good people, and the memories were the solid proof of that. Now that situation was really serious, a closed country dominated by a tyrannic pirate. They were really trying to horror the rightful shogun wishes, and they appear of only meet them for a few weeks. All the heroes looked at each other and come to the right conclusion. They all looked at each with the same look, and after a few talks between them telepathic, they got into one conclusion. You are all free to go, said Superman, surprising the younger team and the pirates. Really, said Luffy, all happy. Yes, you are good-hearted people who wants to do good things. We are only holding you for some boring statement, said Hal Jordan. You are right, we need to keep sailing right now. If the winds is good, we might get there by tomorrow, said Nami, looking at her long pose and smiling because they could leave this place and go to Wano. That sound good, said Wonder Woman with a smile. Luffy looks around the heroes, just observing with interest. They sound really cool, and after hearing about them and their incredible feat, he got a crazy idea. I got it. Why don't you guys come to help us? Said Luffy, all direct like usual. What? Said the Straw Hats, scared that Luffy got that idea. What? Said most of the league, confused by that question. Luffy, shut up, said Nami, all nervous and closing Luffy's mouth. But Luffy got free to speak again. No, this is perfect. With you guys we are sure to help Momo and Kin, said Luffy, all happy and jumping on the league table, looking at the Justice League with a big smile in his face. Luffy, this is, said Superman, wanting to say something but Batman cuts him. Of course not. This is not a league businesses and it's not our home, said Batman, all cold and rude. But, said Luffy, wanting to say more, but Batman was persistent. No, said Batman. I refuse your answer, said Luffy, going near Batman and being serious, but looked like two kids arguing. Okay. Who of those two are more childish? Thought Black Canary. Come on, we need help. We already have allies, but with you guys, we could really go further. You guys are heroes. You said you help people, so help them, said Luffy with a smile. The league was no picked on a dilemma. After hearing about all of this, they wanted to help, but there was so many things holding them. Luffy was strong, but a little help never hurt anyone, even if Batman never said. We don't, said Wonder Woman, trying to say an excuse, but Luffy was persistent. Please, please, said Luffy, being like a little kid. Would bug off, said Sanji, kicking Luffy to shut him. Sorry for our captain. We are just going to the Sunny and leave, said Nami, trying to not cause more trouble. No, stay for the night. You can sleep in the rooms that we install, said Black Canary, looking at the time. Can you give us a moment? Nightwing, can you? Asked Superman to the League of the Younger team. Sure, follow me and I guide to your room, said Nightwing, inviting the pirates to come with them. They follow the former sidekick and his team to the other room, leaving only the League. Hey, do you have any food here? I'm starving, said Luffy. Yes, we have, said Red Robin with a laugh. Good, then I am cooking, said Sanji, lighting a cigarette. Awesome, Sanji. In the meantime, I want to know your guys' powers. What does this do? Asked Luffy, grabbing on Blue Beetle armor. The alien armor immeasurably wanted to kill Luffy. Hey, back off, dude, said Blue Beetle, all nervous. After the group leaves, the Justice League sat and discussed for what should they do. Should they go with Luffy and help them, or stay behind? So, what do you think? Asked Superman. Well, he lives in a crazy world, said Captain Atom. But their mission, there is a closed country ruled by a dictator, and they are out to kill thousands, said Wonder Woman. What she saw, she could let it pass. This Kaido, king of the beasts, should be the force that even gods are aware of. What can we do? Asked Hawkman. After that commentary, many heroes were quiet, but then Superman, the world's greatest hero, spoke of. I wanna help them, said him seriously. And when he is serious, it is no joke. Me too, said Wonder Woman, also volunteering. You said that if you want to team up with those pirates, you will need to travel to their world, said Red Tornado, pointing out the main problem. I might want to go. That sounds like an adventure of a lifetime, said Black Canary. If Pretty Bird is going, put me on too, said Green Arrow with a smile. Me too, said Zatanna, wanting to help. I want to participate on this war, said Hawkman, clutching his fist. Many were offering until Jon Stewart spoke up. People, remember we have our own problems in this world. We can't just let the entire Justice League out. What if Darkseid decide to show up for some reason? Said him, and many people were taken back. That was good amount. They are going to see who is leaving. You right, said Hal. After many discussions, everyone looked at Batman with wonder for what he had to say. What about you? Asked Hawkgirl to the Dark Knight. Batman just took a look at his team and answered. I am not blind of seeing people suffering. However, this is totally of our plans, said Batman. Batman, please, if we send a party of at least 5 people, that is gonna be enough, said the Flash. Who is able to go? Asked Batman. I will, said Superman. Me too, said Wonder Woman. I also would like to go, most because I want to see their world, said the Flash, all excited. I said that I want the adventure, said Black Canary. And I want to go with you, said Green Arrow. I need more reports on interdimensional worlds. I will explain to the Guardians, said Hal Jordan. And then the last person in the world assist. I will assist, said Batman, leaving the League in shock. After that, the League made the official selection of the team for Wano. So is Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Green Arrow, and Black Canary, said Captain Atom, looking at the list of the members that will go. Great, so let's assume a plan and then go back to those pirates, said the Flash, all excited. It said that he has to live Iris, but it is just for a while. Are you still sure this is the right choice? Asked Hawkgirl to many of her colleagues. What Luffy said was right. We are heroes, we save people, let's save those people, said Green Arrow. You really sound corny, Oliver, said Black Canary with a laugh. But what about our towns? We can't just leave them, asked Hal Jordan. We can talk with the younger team about it. Maybe this wouldn't take too much time, said Wonder Woman, thinking of a solution. So, what do you think, Batman? Asked Superman. I am going to be in Constable Watch. I will put bugs in their ship later. I still don't trust him after all that, said Batman, only going to help the people and not because of the pirates. Fine, be paranoid as you want, said Superman with a laugh. So, it's official, said Hal, looking at the League, agreeing to assist pirates in a war. We really went over the top this time, said Green Arrow, laughing alongside his best friend. Younger team. Luffy and his crew were telling some story about their adventures for the sidekicks, while Sanji cooked a feast for everyone. They were really impressed and somewhat disbelief of all those crazy stuffs. But Luffy was still a funny guy. You really punched a god in the face, asked Wonder Girl with a shocked, surprised look. Yes, said Luffy with his mouth full of meat, making some sidekicks laughing. He was not a god. He was just a lunatic with a very powerful fruit, said Nami, remembering Anaru's crazy ideas. That still count on my book, said Luffy. I have to say those noodles are amazing, said Rocket, eating. Yes, Sanji food is the best, said Luffy. And my bones sure love this warm milk, said Brook. You are an interesting creature to look at it, even if you don't have flesh, said Starfire. You are not what I was expecting of a talking skeleton, said Raven, not impressed with Brook. My salad is amazing, said Carrot. I agree with you, said Spoiler, also eating a salad alongside the mink. It is my pleasure feeding some powerful people, including some cute heroines, said Sanji with hard eyes, looking at some of the heroines with her cute costumes. He is hopeless, thought most of the man. Can I have some more, please? Asked Starfire. Yes, Starfire-chan, said Sanji. Hey, do you want some food? Asked Luffy with a mouthful, offering food to Robin. No, I don't want food from you, said Robin, all pissed, eating alone. What is his problem? Asked Luffy. Robin doesn't like being defeated and you public humiliated him, said Reed Robin with a laugh. It was really funny. By the way, thanks man for these vegan noodles, said Beat Boy. No problem. There's no limit to my cooking, said Sanji with a smile. And after the commentary, they were greeted by some members of the Justice League. Hey, you guys are back, said Luffy, all happy to see the big heroes again. Listen, sorry for Luffy, he can really be, said Nami, preparing the apologies, but Superman cut her. No, what he said was right, said Superman. What? Scream everyone except Luffy. We are coming with you guys to help open Wano, said Wonder Woman with a smile. What? Scream more people. The Sanji team pretty much fall on their back when they heard that news, while the sidekicks were frozen. Alright, new crew members, said Luffy in joy. We are allies, you lunatic, said Green Arrow. Superman, is that true? Asked Supergirl. Yes, me, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, Green Arrow, and Black Canary are going to assist the Straw Hats, said him. This is grateful, said Luffy, all excited that heroes are going to assist him in his battle with Kaido, Wonder Woman, and Black Canary in our ships. Dreams come true, said Sanji, all love style. Alright, now we are Ninja Pirate Mink Heroes Samurai Alliance, said Luffy. That's a long name, said Martian Manhunter. We work on it later, said Chopper with a laugh. First, we need more supply for an addition of 7 people on your crew. I already did my part, said Batman, showing images of robots putting many boxes of supplies in the sunny for the additional team. Thanks, Batman, said Luffy, all excited to have heroes in his crew. I'm not gonna sleep fine in the sunny, said Nami, all nervous. Having those people that could destroy cities next to her was certainly a nightmare. Boy, I can't wait for the others to see this, said Luffy, all excited to the League meet his friends. He really is excited, said Miss Martian with a laugh. I hope nothing bad happens, said Luffy. Luffy, we are already dealing with a Yonko. What could possibly be worse? Asked Nami. Bermuda Triangle. The sea was quiet for a while. Since that interflow between Aquaman forces and a mysterious pirate crew, everything was quiet. Until now, showing off to the surface was a metal helmet with 2 red eyes and a scuba diver suit. The villain knows as Black Manta saw the battle from a distance, and after exploring the area, he decides to constant some other forces. This is Luthor. It better be good, said Lex Luthor. Luthor, this is Black Manta. I got some information for you, said Black Manta. Where are you? Asked Luthor, now with interests. He was in his office in Metropolis doing some work to kill time. Bermuda Triangles. I saw a mysterious ship appear and enter in battle with the Atlantean troops, said Black Manta. Do you have visual? Asked Luthor with interest. Yes, said him. Send to me, said Luthor. Lex looked for what appeared to be battleship made of wood. The design was odd, but he could feel the power inside. What left in those deep realms was nothing of the usual. He wanted to learn more. What's next? Asked Black Manta. We call the others. The Legion of Doom is gonna discuss this situation tomorrow, said Lex, going to send this image and message to his allies. Understood. Black Manta out, said the scuba assassin, leaving his communication. Luthor was still looking at the ship with interest. It was both interesting and ridiculous at the same time. It really messes with him, and now those Justice League members are going to get involved. He needs to act. What in the multiverse are you? Asked Luthor, looking at the Sunny while pouring some whiskey. Luthor Corp, the CEO of one of the biggest company of the world, was busy doing a presentation to head of various international companies about a new way to transport oil utilizing LexCorp tech. And that's why, gentlemen, this idea will increase our profit on 200% and gives zero collateral damage to Mother Nature, said Lex Luthor, finishing his speech and receiving much praise from his associates. Amazing. Genius. Bravo, Mr. Luthor. Please, I'm just one man. My hard work employers are the one that makes this project a possibility, said Lex. We will send the contracts later today, if is that okay, said one of the investors. Yes, but I will have a later meeting today, so I will only give many of you feedback tomorrow, said Lex. Alright, have a safe day, all of you, said Lex, saying goodbye to the vast majority of people. After the meeting was done, somebody knocks on his door. Knock knock. Come in, said Lex, and then Mercy, his bodyguard, appears. Mr. Luthor, said Mercy with a white suit and her trade sunglass. Ah, Mercy, is good to see you, my dear, said Lex with a smile. The helicopter is ready, said her. Excellent, right on time. Eve, said Lex, shouting to his secretary. Yes, Mr. Luthor, said the very awkward woman. Hold my calls and cancels all of my meetings. I am going to a personal meeting of my own, said Lex, very direct and cold. Yes, sir, said Eve, obeying her boss, most thanks to her crush on him. Otis, said Lex, referring to the dumb security guard that he trusts to guard his office. For some reason Lex likes his presence. Yes, Mr. Luthor, said the very tall, muscular, and dumb guard. If you see any intruders coming into my building, you know what to do, said Lex. Yeah, beat them up, said Otis, crackling his knuckles and laughing. Very good, Otis, said Lex with a smile. Yes, Mr. Luthor, said Otis, answering his boss and then going back to watch TV. Let's go, Mercy, said Lex to his bodyguard. Yes, said Mercy, following Lex. The duo reached the top of LexCorp, where a helicopter was present. Mercy was going to pilot while Lex was only the passenger. Do you have the coordinate? Asked Lex. Yes, sir. We will arrive there in a maximum of an hour, said Mercy, looking at the timer. But for Lex that wasn't enough. Make it half an hour, said Lex, pretty much demanding. Yes, sir, said Mercy. It wasn't possible to arrive at the base in half an hour, but for Lex Luthor, she will do anything. Meanwhile, at the Legion Doom, come on, I had to do that. Many of the world's greatest supervillains were all joining the secret hideout in the dark depths of an Amazon forest. The way each one finds to get there is silly to the average. The Legion of Doom were all meeting to discuss a serious situation given by Luthor himself. Many didn't have any idea of what could be. But if it was Luthor that was saying it, then it must be important. It was an essential meeting with all the chair members of the Legion. If any of them would dare miss this, Luthor will have their head and give the position to somebody else. While they were coming, most of them were discussing things around. Can anyone remember why we put this place in a Godman swamp? Asked Merly. I guess to not cause attention, said Cheetah. Hey Manta, remember me, said Captain Cold, waving his hand for the scuba villain. No, said Black Manta, completely ignoring the Flash villain. We helped save the world from the worst guys and he wouldn't say hello. Scudder, why do I have to come here? Said Cold, all frustrated. He hated going to the meeting of the Legion of Doom. He is a bank thief, he doesn't care about taking over the world. But then Mirror Master contacts him via a pocket mirror. We need a rogue to represent us. And since you're our leader, who better than you, Snart? Said Mirror Master in the tiny mirror. Captain Cold only grunts of that. I tell you, if weren't for the benefits, I would get out here. Said Captain Cold is all frustrated. Move, kid, said Deathstroke, shoving Captain Cold aside, almost making the ice villain fall. Nice to see you two, Slade, said Snart with hatred. Guys like Deathstroke didn't respect anyone unless there was a check involved. Most of his frustration was gone when a weird green, purple rocket arrived at the Legion of Doom swamp. There was a symbol of a card in the rocket. All the villains got frustrated because he had arrived earlier. Bump. Oh, great he came, said Snart all irritated and going inside quickly. Honey, I'm home, said the Joker stepping out of his rocket. Arg, said most of the villains that were outside. Joker was either super scary or super annoying. Oh, what a pleasant day it is to meet with my good old buddies of the Legion of Doom. Because we know what happens if you had excluded me, said him tossing a very blood pipe into the ground. Probably someone that he had to deal with in the morning. We know, Joker. Even Luthor is not dumb to waste a wild crazy card like you to conquer the world, said Scarecrow. If isn't Jonathan Crane my old pal from Gotham? So, do you have any problem with the harvest later? Asked Joker making his funny commentary. Arg, said Scarecrow all irritated. He couldn't even toss his fear gas into the Joker. Apparently the laughing gas and his toxin weren't too much different. Later in the day, all the members of the Legion of Doom were all present with exception of Luthor. Where that the hell is the bald head? Asked Deathstroke irritated. Yeah, we all have plans, we have lives, said the Riddler. Oh please, most of those plans are escaping jail, said Giganta with a laugh. Riddler only grunts irritated at the Wonder Woman villain. Why do you think Luthor convoke a huge gathering of members? Asked Black Adam. He doesn't do that unless it is something big and by the looks, said Vandal Savage, while Bane finished for him. It is huge, said Bane. I hope, because the Leaguer of Assassins doesn't like to wait. If my father and he were so close business partners I would have defected years ago, said Talia all cold. Oh, Miss Spoiled Assassin is sad, said Joker mocking the assassin. In response, she throws a sharp knife in his direction. But he dodges. One more thing, clown, and is your head, said her all cold. Talia was deadly as she was beautiful. Please, even if your old man couldn't beat me. He's still mad over the chess match that we had on my vacation, said Joker now mocking Raz. If you dare mock him, said Talia picking a knife bigger than her head. Are you gonna cry? Is daddy gonna buy you a pony? Said Joker still mocking the Algol. I own stallions that can kill a man with their hooves alone. So yes, I am proud of my ponies, said her all cold. The villains didn't know if that a joke or seriousness. Only the Joker was laughing while the rest was confused. Sometimes this place is a madhouse, said Captain Cold all tired. Tell me about, said Metallo. The situation got worse when Sinestro starts to glow in yellow, mostly due to his impatience. Where that hell is Luthor? I didn't fly all over galaxies to come over here for, said Sinestro, but before he could finish Lex and Mercy appears. Calm down, Sinestro. You all know I love a good entrance, said the leader of the Legion of Doom arriving. There you are, said Sinestro going back to his seat. You are late, Luthor, said Reverse Flash. I know, someone couldn't arrive on time, said Luthor with a hate glare to Mercy who didn't show any emotion in her face. I will be whipping myself for the lateness, said her all cold like she didn't even care. Do that for 2 hours, said Luthor. As your wish, said Mercy leaving the room. Many members were either carrying for that statement or very confused. She is not gonna do that, right? Asked Metallo. But the sound of a whip hitting human flesh could be heard from the other side of the room. Mercy was indeed without her main top of the white suit and only in pants whipping herself. Whip whip whip. Most of the villains were confused by that. Some of them even look at Groot if he was responsible for that. Don't look at me. Sometimes humans' minds are more primitive than the dumbest of apes, said the gorilla with a laugh. Alright, we have all the current roster here, said Luthor seeing that all the current 20 members of the Legion of Doom were present. Yeah, and no bagels. Come on Lex, where is your class for your members? Said Joker making another commenter. Merle was actually so done with the clown antics that he shot an arrow to his should. Arg, said the Joker in pain. Would you shut up? Asked Merle irritated, as Joker removed the arrow from his shoulder with no problem, but also not carrying for the wound. Thank you, Merle, said Luthor. So Luthor, what is the emergency? Asked Vandal Savage. Black Manta, you have the chair, said Luthor referring to the scuba dive villain. Black Manta stayed up and soon the light of the room went out so he could show some pictures. Approximately 2 days ago I was searching for treasures near the Bermuda Triangle when suddenly I spotted this, said Manta reveling pictures of the Thousand Sunny. Most to say the Legion was confused by that ship. What is that? Asked Giganta. A lion, the supposed king of the animals, said Cheetah with a laugh. Is a ship and huge one, said Ocean Master. So, it appears the Bermuda Triangle binged us something, not of this world, said Vandal analyzing this ship. He lived thousands of years. He saw every type of ship created by mankind and that one was something that he never saw. That's my point. Just by looking at it, you can see that this ship looking nothing alike the usual the Navy use in war, said Manta showing more closed up pictures of the Sunny. and it is made of wood. If it can support that weight, we have to praise who designed, said Black Adam, finding the structure of the ship kind impressive. So, what, Luthor? Manta finds out a weird-looking ship, and that's why you call all of us for this? Asked Captain Cold, confused. After his argument, Ocean Master slams on the table full of wrath. Watch your tone. This could be a menace for the seven seas. If this ship has any kind of power that could destroy the marine life, I will not allow, said Ocean Master, all angry. Great, a whale lover, said Joker, looking annoyed at Ocean Master phrase. Later, this ship was attacked by Atlantean troops, led by Jackson, said Manta, showing a picture of his son and his team invading the ship. Oh, isn't him the new Aqualad? Asked Scarecrow. Yeah, the other one decides to become a wizard or something, said Deathstroke, remembering his deals with the Teen Titans in the beginning and fighting the first Aqualad. They were imminently defeated, said Manta, showing pictures of the Atalante troops appending the ship and taking away. So, they weren't as strong as we assumed, asked Bane. Rugsk, said Solomon Grundy. No, they were defeated by the use of magic, said Black Manta. That cheap trick was an annoyance to the end. Always that, said Black Adam. Aquaman and his soldier took the ship away. After that, I haven't seen much, said Manta, finishing his presentation. Why didn't you follow them? Asked Deathstroke. I may despite Aquaman, but I am not an idiot on going on myself. What I would get is some Atlantean blood in my hands, and then I will be knocked out. Attempting as that is, I prefer giving all this new, said Black Manta. What's next? Asked Talia. I went to the Bermuda Triangles and soon finding myself on other waters, said Manta, showing a video of him swimming to the other of the Bermuda Triangle, now swimming in the waters of the New World. You what? Asked Sinestro, confused. Speak out, treasure hunter. What do you mean, other water? Asked the Riddler. I swam all over this world, but as soon I passed that fog, I sensed that the water had changed. It was nothing that I never have seen before, said Black Manta, continuing to show footage of his Ventura. Now the interest of the villains was showed when Black Manta encountered a large sea king. What are those? Asked Merly, confused. Those are not Atlantean creatures. They are not in description with all of the aquatic species, said Ocean Master, shaking. He had studied every single marine life on Earth, and those creatures were not of his knowledge. I tried to fight one, said Black Manta. Why? Asked Reverse Flash. When you see a new species, you need to know its strength, said Black Manta. Fair enough, said Bane. While there weren't many footages of Black Manta against the Sea King, the villain put his signature harpoon on the table of the meeting. The villains were surprised by the state of the weapon. My harpoons, knives, and lasers were not enough. I was almost eaten by those monsters. Whatever is after that fog is not from this world, said Manta. Now that Black Manta finished his report, all the members of the Legion were interested. Whatever happened after the fog not only caught the Justice League's attention but also leads to some mysterious mythical world. So, what is the plan, Luthor? Asked Bane. Luthor gave a devilish smile. That means that he already came up with a plan. Ocean Master, is better you sent some of your soldiers in this position, said Luthor. For how long? Asked Ocean Master. At least a day. If we see the Justice League near, we might take action. Whatever is after that fog could be world-dominating power, and I'm not letting pass, said him. Well spoken, Luthor, said Talia. Thank you, Miss Algol. I will assist. If there is any aquatic fight, I wanna have blood on my hands, said Black Manta. Sure, said Luthor. Manta would also assist in the fights, so it better not discard good assistance. Manta sure is a weird one, thought Captain Cold. After that, Ocean Master and Black Manta leave the meeting room. Okay, so, while those two are waiting for something to happen, what we do, Luthor? Asked Giganta. I don't know, figure it out, said Luthor, leaving most of the villains to check if Mercy was still whipping herself. Okay, said the Joker, relaxing on putting his legs on the table. Most of the villains were now just checking phones and pretty much past time until a report from Ocean Master or Black Manta. Until then, they wait. Kent resident. As a family man, Clark Kent had already informed his wife Lois and his son John about his mission. It could take a little time. Being Superman was not an easy job, but he always manages to balance it out for the sake of his family. He told both Lois and John about the Straw Hats pirates and the situation about Wano and the samurai. While Lois found amusing, John thought it was awesome. Can I meet one of the pirates, Dad? Please, asked John. Sorry, buddy. Right, we are in a hurry. We are set to leave tomorrow morning and you have school, said Superman, patting his son in the head. Oh, come on. Damien meets them and sure he wouldn't tell me, said John, all grumpy. He knows how the Wayne kid thinks. Here's some pictures, said Superman, showing some pictures that he took with his phone. They were of Luffy, the rest of the crew, and a dinner that Sanji made for everyone. They look cool, said John, all excited. This Luffy guy seemed really cool. They seem interesting, said Lois. They are Lois. I saw their memories. Their world is not a happy one, but they are trying to bring the best even if they are pirates, said Superman, being honest. The Straw Hats were freedom fighters. They bring justice in their own way by taking down corrupted people. Pirates doing good. That's new, said Lois. She saw an old backpack on the floor with some clothes, glasses, and a picture of the family. So, you came here to pick some stuff before you leave, said Lois, kind sad. Yes, but also to give this, said Superman, taking from his cape a piece of paper. A piece of paper, said Lois, confused. Not any kind piece of paper, said Superman, holding his Vivre Card. He remembers last night when he and his team were asking for the Straw Hats about the power of this paper. Flashback. While Superman and his team were inspecting the ship to be familiar with it, they overheard a conversation between Luffy and his friend. Luffy, do you still have the Vivre Card that we made in Zoo? Asked Nami, catching the attention of the heroes. Luffy then took of the paper from his hat. Yes, soon we will be reunited with the whole crew. Is gonna be awesome, said Luffy, all animated. What is that in your hand? Asked the Flash, and the heroes walked by the location of Luffy. They also saw Nami tangerine trees. Oh hey, tangerines, said Black Canary. Want some? Asked Luffy. Please, said Canary. Luffy picks one of the tangerines and tosses aside. Catch, said Luffy, tossing. Thanks, said Canary, catching and eating. Planting fruits in a ship. Now, this is a good way to combat scurvy, said Green Arrow. Luffy, what is that in your hands? Asked Superman. Oh, it is Vivre Card, said Luffy, showing the paper. Vivre Card? Asked most of the heroes, geniusly confused. Explain it now, said Batman, being direct. Scaring Nami, of course. Do it, Luffy, said Nami, afraid of the Dark Knight, while Luffy just thought he was cool. He is scary, thought Chopper, Brook, and Carrot on the other side of the ship, seeing Batman, while Sanji was cooking. Oh, it is a kind special of paper that could only be found in the New World. Is made from part of someone's fingernail, which is then made into paper. Did I said right? Said Luffy. Yes, said Nami, still afraid. So is a disgusting paper? Asked Green Lantern. No, this is important. When you torn a piece of the paper, it will point out to the person which was made and move it, said Nami. Really? Said Wonder Woman, intrigued. Yes, check it out, said Luffy, putting the Vivre Card on the floor, and it started to move on its own. That really surprised the heroes because it was something that they never seen before. It is moving, said Superman. By the goods, said Wonder Woman, amazed. This is incredible, said Flash, excited. And the best part is, no matter how far away the user is, the paper will move and reach the person which was made, said Luffy. Wait, you are not in your world and it's moving, said Green Arrow, confused. Yeah, isn't cool. We will reach our friends in no time, said Luffy, just happy. Maybe the card was that powerful that could reach other worlds and still find its owner. Oh yeah, another thing is that if you are mortal danger, the piece of paper will burn out, said Nami, remembering the tip that Lola gave her. Really? Now that is convenient, said Black Canary. Superman saw this paper in amazement. Now that he was a family man, he wanted to make sure that his family could know where to find him at any cost. So, he had an idea. Can you make one for me? Asked Superman, surprising everyone except Luffy. Sure, I think Nami can handle, said Luffy. Oh yeah, said Nami, all nervous by doing a Vivre Card for freaking Superman. How long does it take? Asked Batman, all serious. In an hour, said Nami, sweating in fear. Do it, said Batman, all serious. I also would like it one, please, said Green Lantern. Me too, said Wonder Woman. Same here, said Flash. I need one those, said Green Arrow. Nami now was very nervous to see those heroes asking for Vivre Cards. That's too much work for a short time that they were, and she was not getting paid. But if she didn't suffer Batman punishments, then she needs to do it. Right, coming. Boys will help me with this, said Nami with a sweet voice to Luffy, Chopper, and Brook. Huh, said the trio, confused and with a look that they didn't want to do it. But Nami changed their minds quickly. I'm not getting paid here, so you will all help make the seized on things. Got it, said her, all angry. Yes ma'am, said the three, going to use Op Workshop to make the cards. Wow, she can be scary, said Flash with a laugh. We know she is a scary woman, said Green Arrow with a smirk. After that, Black Canary gives him a punch in the arm. Ouch, said the archer in pain. Watch your tongue, Ollie, said Dinah. Sorry about that, bud, said Green Lantern, laughing at his best friend. A paper that can move until finding their user. That's impressive, said Wonder Woman. Yes, if it what they tell is true, it can blow out our communication system, said Batman. Plus, that can tell when we are in dangerous. This will come in handy, said Flash. Speaking of tracker, did you put any on the ship? Asked Superman to Batman. Yes, and every single one of them. Luffy actually have some mini trackers inside of him, said Batman, shocking the League. You put trackers inside his body? Asked Black Canary, angry at Batman for doing that. Not exactly, said Batman. So, what happens? Asked Green Arrow. I left some on the main hall table. He thought it was chocolate and ate it, said Batman, making the heroes astounded. Luffy was just ... Wow. How is still alive? Asked Black Canary. I don't know, said Batman. Present. So, you see, this paper will tell me where I am, said Superman after explaining the true behind the Vivre Card. It is really moving, said Lois, amazed by that. This so cool, Dad. Can I have one? Asked John, holding also a Vivre Card. I can make one for you later, but at the moment promise me to not lose this paper, said Superman. I promise, said John, all seriously holding this paper like it was a gift. Thanks, John, said Superman, smiling at his son. Clark, said Lois to her husband. I know that I got lost in space so many times and the League had difficulty to find me. Now with this, not anymore, said Lois with genius concern for her husband's safety. Those missions always made her worried, but now the Vivre Card will make this easier. I always come back, thanks to you and John, said Clark, kissing her wife. Go, you silly Boy Scout. Go save a samurai country, said Lois with a laugh. If we do save, I can show you and John around, said Clark. Really? Thanks, Dad. This way I can be a Superboy samurai. Hiya, said John, making some poses. Calm there, kid Bushido, said Lois with a laugh. Sorry, said John with a blush. I will miss you all, but I will always be near you, said Clark, picking his backpack. Go save those people, said Lois, being strict as ever. Kick their ass, Dad, said John, all excited. I will, said Clark, changing into his Superman costume. I love you too, said Superman. And we love you too, said Lois with John at her side. Soon Clark vanished, going to the Thousand Sunny Batcave. After a gathering of all his sidekick and close friends, Bruce had gathered all of his main sources of information while also his sidekick to explain the situation. Nightwing, Red Robin, and Spoiler already knew about the whole pirate situation. While at first it was seen as a joke, Bruce maintained his serious dark expression like it was a matter of life or death. After all that, he explained the card. So, this card will tell where you are, asked Signal. Really, this piece paper? Asked Red Hood, still not believing. Yes, said Batman, just nodding. I better put this on a safe place, said Red Robin, putting the card in his wallet. Are you sure this paper is safe? Asked Orphan. Just put on the table, said Batman. All the people do that and saw that it was moving. Is moving, said Nightwing, shocked, alongside most of the Bat family. Wow, said Spoiler. Okay, now, this is incredible, said Batgirl. Not only that but also this, said Batman, holding a Batarang. Master Bruce, what are you? Asked Alfred, but before he could finish, Batman stabs himself with a Batarang. Arg, said Batman, crying in pain, causing everyone to grasp in horror. Dear God, Batman, said Nightwing, stopping him from going on. He is already insane, said Red Hood, confused. Look at the card, said Batman. Those who paid attention saw that now the cards were burning the top. That was really weird. The top is burning, said Batgirl, generously scared. Yes, no matter what, if my life is in danger, the card will tell you. If the paper is almost burned out, that means I am dead, said Batman, trying to hold his bleeding. But you are not at the moment. Now sit there, said Leslie, all angry at Bruce. Yes, doctor, said Batman, sitting on a chair while the doctor treated his wound. You know, for a smart man, you make so many dumb decisions, said Damien. I got to admit, after seeing millions of tracking technology being destroyed by your crime-fighting duties, it's good to see that mere paper is gonna help us out more, said Lucius Fox, observing the paper. But we shouldn't discard technology, Mr. Fox. We still need it, said Batgirl. Batgirl is right, affirms Nightwing. After Dr. Leslie finishes her treatment, Batman picked a backpack and a suitcase possibly full of the necessities that he needs for his trip. So, you are leaving now? Asked Alfred. Yes, I may not like them, but I can't accept that. I saw a corrupt government acting himself as gods among people. We may not fight them, but this will be a great victory, said Batman. He only saw glimpses of some of the actions of the world government and he already was furious. Yes, who imagined Batman a pirate? Said Red Hood. Shut up, Jason, said Orphan. The point is, no matter what happened to me, you can find me, and if I am in the danger, this will tell of all you. So, don't throw that away like garbage, said Batman, pointing to the Vivre Card that each member of the Bat family now holds. They all looked at this paper with a sad smile on their faces. We will not let this happen, said Red Robin. This is gonna be with me all the time, said Signal. Me too, said Red Hood, putting the card inside his helmet. It's good to see this, said Batman, looking at his sidekicks all protecting his card. Sir, said Alfred, all concerned, holding the moving card that pointed to Batman. Alfred, I know you hate me doing this, but this for the greater good, and with this, said Batman, trying to calm down his butler. Bruce takes off his cowl and look at Alfred in the eyes. You can find me anywhere in the world. According to them, it will not stop moving until it reaches their person, said Bruce. I will guard with my life, said Alfred in tears. This paper would make his life a lot easier now since he could find where Master Bruce was and if he was alive. Oh, said Bruce, hugging Alfred. Group hug, said Batgirl, and then most of the team joined in. Suddenly Signal remembers something offhanded. Hey, I just remember. Did you gave one for her? Asked Signal, referring to Catwoman. Yes, said Batman. His answer made everyone confused. If that the case, why wasn't Selena there? And where is her? I thought she will be present to say goodbye, asked Nightwing. We had an argument. She wanted to go along. I said no, and she ran away, said Batman, remembering Selena screaming. Classic of her, said Red Robin. Bruce, said Dr. Leslie, trying to comfort the hero, but he brushes off. Is okay, doctor. As long she is safe, I am happy, said Bruce, looking above. Meanwhile, somewhere in Gotham, Selena Kyle aka Catwoman was resting near a huge neon sign after a success jewelry robbery. While normally she will be happy with her new jewels, but this time it was different. Her sometimes boyfriend something's pain the ass Batman said that he will out of the tow for a few days and his network of sidekicks will be running the place. While she was confused, he explained his reason and that got Selena worried. She wanted to go along but he denied, saying it was too dangerous. He also gave a weird card that could point wherever he was in the world. She took this piece of paper out of her blouse and see it moving. She could track him down and try to argue. But what is the point? If anything, he would knock her again to make sure she didn't fight. He was a brute man and she loved him for that. If you don't come back in a few days, I will save your ass from this one, said her, looking at his Vivre Card. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.